Okay. Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing? Dan, we're on time. Dan, what do you mean
What's he talking
about
about?
time? We're right on time. This is perfect timing. What do you mean late? I think your clock is off by more than the prescribed amount. Whatever. So yeah, just haranguing Roger. Yeah, of course. That seems to be the popular choice to harangue me. So today we got the two guys from Emperor's Choice, and we're gonna be absolutely we're gonna be talking about a bunch of Arduin stuff, Arduin history, and all that stuff. So thanks everybody for coming. Thank you guys for coming on the show. I know you guys are busy planning, whatever it is that you're planning, whatever minis and things and swords or whatever you're coming up with next. So we really appreciate you guys coming on.
Hey,
Yeah, see.
Thank you. No, we
Jeff.
appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, Hobbs, yeah, Andy, it's great to see you. We'd love to see you hang out, but we know it's like midnight over there.
Andy, my partner in crime over there.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah, Arduin August. We're kicking off Arduin August.
Right.
You guys are going to be on a bunch of streams.
Yeah.
I know I've been saying Arduin August. I really hope that catches on and other streams are saying that.
I think you coined it.
I coined it. It was me. I just want everybody to know that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'm humble about it, though. But
your residuals are in there.
Yeah.
On all the posts, Roger, I put it, come join us for Arduin August. So
fantastic. That's awesome. No, I love it. So, yeah, really quick. I bought a few things this week. Well, I bought a couple things that came in this week that I'm kind of excited about. Well, this I bought a long time ago, but it came in. I know that Stan's got one of these too, but I got that. That finally came in. Tom Wilson there. It's the Dragon Slayer module there. Kind of fun, cool times. So that finally came in, and I got this. It's going to foreshadow campaign I'm going to hopefully run at some point here, but I got this big box set. And that is the Call of Cthulhu 50th anniversary box set there. So I got that. I've been reading through the starter box. And yeah. So thinking about running some of that. But that's heavy, and that's like a lot of pages. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Other than that, I get my wife got me this for my birthday. I didn't show it last time. This is a Frank Miller book. Totally not gaming related, but Frank Miller, Push the Wall. It's his it's like an autobiography.
Cool.
And Dark Knight Returns, the whole trilogy.
Sin City.
I loved it. I love Dark Knight Returns, whatever the second one was called, and Master Race, I believe, was the third one.
Yeah.
I loved them. I know people think that they got horrible. Some people say that the second one was bad and then the third one was horrible. I loved them. I don't know. Screw everybody that thinks they were terrible, but I think they were awesome.
He also wrote 300.
So
I mean, good grief.
Yeah, great stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I did not get on the gigantic Orient Express game. No, I did not. Didn't do it. So that's what I got. What over to you, Jason?
Okay, glasses on. This is important. My copy of Bushido came in. I am very, very excited about this. I talked about this at length a couple of podcasts ago. It is a reprint of what I think is called the third edition. That's the one by Fantasy Games Unlimited. I am not entirely thrilled by what I have, but I'm very excited to finally have a full set of Bushido because I've got this one, which is from Phoenix Games. This is book 1. And my book 2 is from Fantasy Games Unlimited. And they are a little bit different, almost totally compatible, but not quite. But there are things in this print that I don't like. One, it's clearly a POD. So I was I was a little bit annoyed by that, but whatever. But in the original, there's this awesome map of Nippon. You can see, it's a hex map. The font is really cool. It's a really nice looking map. In this version, this is the map. It's not a hex.
Oh,
It's just
it's just a little corner.
yeah, it's just a little blob.
Ooh.
And the important part is that the map for the original is in, it's in the centerfold. You open it up and that's the map. Well, this you kind of have to look for it anyway. It was clearly scanned off the off the print, and then they use the Adobe edit a PDF.
Yeah.
And when you do that, if the scan's not real clear or if the AI doesn't catch it, sometimes it'll put weird numbers and letters and just symbols in there. They're all through this book. That irritates the hell out of me. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to buy the PDF. I'm going to edit it myself, make a clean copy, and then print it out. Kind of like what Matt did with Shadow Dark. Because I love this game, and I really want to have a copy that when I open it up, it makes me happy instead of just going, oh, typos. So anyway.
Yeah.
We used to play that game a lot.
Oh, yeah. Man. Anytime you guys want to play, you let me know.
That was a long time ago. It was the FGU game.
Oh, man. Yeah. And it's, it's such a weird system. It just uses a D6 and just oddball stuff. But, boy, it sure is good. Really love it.
I think it was Dan that was saying it the other day somewhere. Him and I were talking or something. I know it came up, but a lot of the older WotC stuff that you get on drive-through that's print on demand, like the old basic books and all that stuff, they're not like cleaned up PDFs, and you can see like the artifacts still from the pages curling and all that stuff in the PDF. And you can find better quality PDFs, out there.
And I've read that the PDF that drive-through sells of Bushido is the scan, and it's not great. All the reviews like, oh, this isn't a very good scan. But that doesn't mean I can't.
By page. And,
right. I'll get it for $20 and I'll do it as a labor of love. I will go through every single
font.
Page and yes.
Get the font, start fixing it.
Look at the font on this cover. That's badass. It looks like calligraphy. That's awesome.
Yeah. Good luck finding that one.
But. I know. But if I can replicate it somehow, then that would make me very happy. So
Didn't the original one, Jason Bushido, you said sixers, but didn't it use percentiles or tenors?
Yes.
Remember?
Actually, in the beginning, this is how old it is. It talks about like instead of rolling a D20, you roll D10, and then you roll D10 again. It's like the D20 didn't even exist or wasn't used.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
So,
I remember back in the day, there were two little 10-sideds that came with it.
Yes,
like Dave said, we used to play quite a bit. So that was kind of a cool game.
The guy that used to run this for me back in the early 90s, he never used a D20. He rolled 2D10. Yeah. And I remember the first time I saw him do it, I was like, what's wrong with you? We have this, the D20, it exists. No, I just use my 2D10. Okay, man. That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah. No, that is cool.
Wow, Jeff C found the first adventure he ran for his wife in the group back in 2000 something. Just a scanned copy, not searchable or anything. Well, Jason's gonna have a scannable, searchable.
I have access to Adobe Pro, so I will tell it to edit the PDF, and it's going to give me those terrible symbols and all that stuff.
Yeah, but
since I've got the original copy, I can open it up and I can be like, okay, this is what this weird symbol means. So yeah, that's my plan.
Hyperlink all the stuff, otherwise people complain. Even if you do it for free, they'll still complain.
Oh no, well, this is copyrighted material. I will never release it to the public. I will not violate the copyright.
Oh, okay.
I support them by buying the book. I don't want to just give stuff away for free. I will do this for myself.
Sure.
And if it lands amongst my friends, well, then sometimes these things happen.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, fun stuff. But Stan, what do you got?
I got that Singed adventure that you showed. I got that, and it's a super fun adventure. And I actually got to be a playtester for it, which was a lot of fun. And then I got my copy of Vanguard, the city book by Raging Swan, part of their Duchy of Ashlar setting. It's the capital city. So I had the adventure book, but I didn't have the actual city book. So I picked that up and it came in. And yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, and you know they're redoing all those books with brand new cover art.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to
the big
rebuy 'em.
one. No.
Which I'm excited for because I didn't want to buy them in hardcover or in software in print because of that. Like I wanted a couple, but I feel if you get 3 or 4 of them on the table, you can't tell which is which. And also, you mentioned that you were a playtester on Singed, but what you didn't tell anybody is that your name is actually in the book as a playtester.
Oh, that's pretty badass, man.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Congratulations on that.
We were the
With a
final
bunch of other
playtest
people
group
that I
for
don't
it at OSRCon. Bloodworth's in there. Me and Bloodworth
So
are in the same group.
I know. I'm trying to make it sound like you're special, Stan.
So what system is Singed? What does it use?
Dragon Slayer.
It's for Dragon
Oh,
Slayer.
okay. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he wrote it for Dragon Slayer.
But
Awesome.
And
I
it's-
mean, it's
You can use
it's
anything.
Dragon Slayer, so you can use it with anything that
Sure.
anything
Yeah.
that works.
And in a nutshell, it's basically the old, what was it, Dragon Slayer
Dragon
video
Slayer.
game
Yeah.
made into a module.
Awesome.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, it
If
was
you look
super
at
fun.
that guy in the right
That's
light,
clearly
it
Dirk the
looks-
Dude.
Yeah.
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 Like it really
Yeah,
has
and
the,
then, like,
the
you got
serial
the-
numbers filed off, but like
Yeah.
talking to, I got to talk to Tom quite a bit at OSRCon where I played that. And he basically sat and watched like hours of game playthrough to plot out the adventure.
very
It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of.
I'm assuming
homage
that
there.
it's a group adventure. So does someone play Dirk, or are you just a group
He
doing
does-
the same
he
things
does
that
have-
he did?
Well, it's not Dirk.
Right.
No, he changed the name changed to protect the innocent.
It's Derek.
It's Derek.
Derek the Dashing. There you go.
Derek,
Actually, he
I don't think
doesn't-
they-
Copyright suit
Yeah.
avoided.
It's curd.
Kurt.
Derek the Brave.
The
So,
cheese.
he has some pre-gens in there. We did go through as a group though, and it was pretty challenging. It was, brought back some memories. I mean, I didn't play that game a lot because I grew up poor and couldn't afford all the quarters it took to play that game, but I gave it
Yeah,
a couple
so
stabs here and there.
The
So what-
paladin is Sir Derek the Brave.
Yeah.
And then there's
Yeah.
Delilah Goldenthorn, the illusionist. There's Shifty Nibs, the thief, and there's Brother Henry the cleric.
Excellent.
So,
I like it.
so Derek, Derek, that's close enough.
I made that up, but I didn't realize that really was
Yeah.
the character's name.
And,
No, it looks
all
like
the-
fun.
All the maps were done by Chet Minton, and the
Yeah.
art was done by Travis Hansen, I think.
And I think all the maps in the book are like in color too.
Yeah,
Which
they
is-
are.
which
like
is
they're
interesting. Yeah, you really don't see that in. I mean, it's not a big deal for me, but usually you don't see that in a, in a module.
Yeah.
So
Well, it helps it like stand out, like as far as like you can just glance at the map and be like, oh, okay, that's this.
$20, Vince, you got off light if that's all you sunk into that game.
I was a bag boy at the grocery store across the street from the mall, and the mall had the Gold Mine Arcade, and way in the back left corner was Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, and you lost money working there.
And Space Ace was, I think,
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
And I think I only played Space Ace a couple of times, but dude, all of my bag boy money
Yeah.
went into Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, it was a cool game,
No doubt. Yeah.
Fun
especially at
times.
the time. It was like
Oh,
basically
way-
playing a
yeah.
cartoon, where it
Yeah.
was awesome.
Because it was
Yeah.
on a laser disc, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
yeah,
so.
it was. Yeah,
So cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Tom puts out a great product. I have a bunch of his adventures. He's really good and ships really well as far as like he's on time. He's usually early, I think, and because he's just most of it's done by the time he launches. So, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Which is good. There's a lot of Kickstarters that can take take some notes from
Yep.
that.
100%.
Instead of, hey, let's go into development, like after we do the Kickstarter or whatever.
Is it going to be available to buy directly from his website or POD or anything?
I think it's available for
the PDF will be on drive-through, and he does his prints through Lulu.
Okay, cool.
So it should be available.
Okay.
I don't know if it is now, but it should
thought
be.
I saw it somewhere.
I thought he posted something, so it might be on drive-through.
Yeah, I think you can
PDF.
get the PDF from drive-through. I'm not 100% sure though.
Cool.
But yeah. So yeah, what you guys got anything new that you guys want to talk about before we get started? Or I don't want to leave you guys out of the show and tell if you guys got stuff that you want to.
Do we have something new? I suppose we can just no,
I know
nothing other than, yeah, we're not buying too much gaming product lately other than buying up lines of stuff and all new product and development, all that fun stuff. So,
nice.
Everything like that. I suppose we could announce it right now if we want, our new
acquisition. You can make them wait, whatever you want.
Yeah, no, whatever you want to do. Our big thing real quick before we get into everything. If anybody you want to check out the website, www.mcho.com, you'll see that Emperor's Choice has a whole new section now on the website. We have about 300 SKUs now, and we have a whole paint line from Ammo Paints. So we just introduced today Ammo Paint line. So we've got paints, we've got primers, brushes, everything you need to do painting. So you can pick up miniatures and pick up the paints for them right now at MCHO. So that's one of our big announcements is the whole Ammo Paint line that just is going to be coming in the next couple days. So we launched the website with everything. So I suppose that's our new acquisition, Roger. We bought a whole Dave went, found them. They're from Spain. I don't know if there's anything else. Dave, you want to add to it?
Well, we were originally going to bring those to CNYCon, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That's how long that deal has been in the works. Wow. So that's been 4 months in the works.
Yeah.
I actually turned them down to carry their line at one point. Just said we'll talk next year, anticipating if we, brought them back for the next CNYCon rather than before that.
Correct.
Nice.
And then they just kept persevering and talking to us, and finally I relented after they agreed to cut the shipping costs down and eat some of it. And
nice.
I said, all right, let's just do it.
So that makes you guys is there, since you're talking about shipping fees and stuff like that, I assume that means that they don't have a distributor here.
So no, this is direct out of Spain.
Yeah. So are you guys going to be like the distributor or something like that? Or
no, we're just a dealer.
Just a dealer. Okay.
So yeah, you can get the paints at other locations, such as some of the model shops out there.
Okay.
A lot of them don't carry the singles. That's going to be our thing, is carrying the singles rather than the box sets.
Okay.
We might bring in the box sets down the line. I don't know. We'll see how well they do. There's not really profit to be had. It's more like a customer service thing by carrying them, so people could get the paints.
If you've got the minis and you're selling miniatures,
right?
That's the
and it's an extensive line. The main line is 180 colors alone.
Yeah.
And then we got a couple other lines. There's another line with metallics, and then there's another line that I brought in with dry brush paints. But I think the dry brush might just be thicker paints. I found them curious, so I'm big into the dry brushing scene.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see how those kind of were. And
cool.
I don't know. They're touted as some of the best paints out there. I honestly, I'm an old school Floqual polyester guy. That was the last rack our company carried, is probably either polyester or Floqual, and that was before we became incorporated.
Sure.
And then we may have had a rack, if you wanted to call them racks, from Chessex. We used to carry the Chessex paints at one point. But
yeah, cool.
most people probably don't even know Chessex had a line of paints. But and they were some crappy bottles because they all dry out because they were plastic on plastic.
Yeah.
I've got polyester paints that still are chugging along in the Flocals, but ammo's supposed to be pretty good. They're supposed to be one of the best of all time. So
Cool.
hopefully these ionic paints that we're getting from them are going to be right along that lines. And that's what the reps say. And that's what a lot of reviews I've seen out there say.
Cool. Oh, can't wait to check them out.
Yeah. We
We
named it Fraints and Paints. So paints
nice.
and Fraints. Yeah.
Nice.
So, but no,
Yeah,
that's
cool.
that's our big acquisition now. Like Dave said, we were working on it for a while, so we're pretty happy and excited.
So yeah, so you guys are planning on being a like a rep for them, basically, or I mean, I guess you're not a distributor, right? Because you're not selling to stores and stuff, but you're just going to continue to sell their products, and
Right.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, even though they're out of Spain, our rep is actually from the Buffalo area.
Oh, okay.
And he lives in Albany, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
And he was actually going to come down to CNYCon, the last one in June that just happened. And he was going to rep the paint right at our booth. But because we couldn't get the shipping arranged properly through Spain,
Yeah.
it just didn't happen. So obviously there was no reason to ask the rep to come out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
if we bring the paints next time, I'm sure he's still going to be working out of Albany.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
he might still stop by.
Yeah.
So-
That'd be awesome.
We might need some more space, Roger.
Oh, jeez.
We need to extend a little bit. We need another
Yeah.
10 feet for a whole paint section. for
I
the
know. Oh
booth.
my God. Whole paint section now.
Yeah.
I was actually expecting to take have the paints here. They were supposed to be here yesterday, and then they kind of got pseudo delayed till tomorrow, and now they're stuck at customs. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could take weeks. Yeah.
probably 2 weeks is my
Yeah.
guess, maybe less.
I'm looking at
I already put it up on the website that we'd have them by the end of this week, but
I'm looking at the
that was 12 hours before
Yeah.
they said customs hold.
I'm looking at the paint line, and there's got to be 55 dry brush paints on this. Different colors.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
54, I think.
Looks
for the
like
dry brush
7
paint.
or so different primers. I mean, green. Like I saw the green, I was like, oh, mutants. Man, this is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
line.
those
Yeah,
are some
6
good
primers.
colors.
Yeah.
Have
It's
you
great.
Yeah.
And then the heavy metal metallics, there's 60 SKUs.
Wow.
So there's 20 metallic base paints, 20 metallic highlight paints, and 20 metallic washes.
Man,
Wow.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to check out some of these and, start filling in with this stuff. Give them a try,
Yeah.
So yeah, fun times. Stan's probably loading up his cart right now.
Yeah.
have you ever used any of the
Oh.
ammo paints, Stan? Just to
I have not.
Okay.
These look great.
great. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
I've used ammo paints. I've used the AK paints. They're kind of similar
Okay.
because same designer.
Oh, okay.
The owner of ammo, I don't know the story. It seems like it's polluted when you look online, but I don't know if there was a relationship family wise or something with AK paints. They're both out of Spain, and they had some sort of breakup and became the second company over there. And it seems like all the Spanish companies have controversies with the
I was going to
paint.
say it seems to be the RPG
I think
hobby.
Vallejo
The
did.
RPG hobby is full of people disagreeing, and then there's a split, and there's a schism, and people go different directions, and all of that, and we
I mean, I don't pretend to know one thing or another on their politics or whatever.
Sure.
But I do know they carried the Ionics and they looked pretty damn good, and the color selection was good, and they were quick to respond. So I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool stuff. Yeah. I can't wait to check them out and see how they are. Jeff says metallic washes. Wow. They got metallic washes, or is Jeff crazy?
Yeah. So they got like a 3-pack too that you can
Really?
get. You got only a couple of each of those.
That
like,
seems cool.
So you'll get like a metallic base green.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a metallic wash for that.
Yeah.
And then a metallic green highlight.
That's interesting.
For it.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And we got a link on their website or on our website for how to use them.
Definitely got to try them out. Maybe let's talk about it. Maybe we'll get some and we'll try and set up a paint and take or something for CNY, next year, whatever.
My gut's telling me they're going to be really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't say that about any paint that I've seen since the Flocal Polyester days, but I'm not, I'm not painting thousands of pieces anymore. So
sure. Yeah.
But my gut says that's where they're at. And it was definitely enticing, and their quality is top notch. So
yeah, I mean, I'm
pleased with it.
I think I'm doing the same thing you guys are as far as painting, and that's outsourcing to Stan.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? That's a strong plan.
Yeah.
Dan wants to know, if they would work for beginning of painting. Plan. I think any paint would be, could be good for beginners of painting. I think not to make this into a painting show, and Stan, please correct me because you do more of it than I do. I think the most important part is making sure the paint is thin enough so that you're not just glopping it on. If you could physically see it, on the end of the brush or whatever, like you want to have it so that it's in the brush and not like on top of it, and do thin.
Yeah, I know. Like I have friends that use like regular like craft paint and stuff. I've never had good luck with that, and I don't recommend it for beginners because you have to thin that a ton.
Yeah,
it's straight out of the bottle. That stuff is the pigments are way bigger than your standard miniature paint. So yeah, but I mean, there's a billion different brands out there now, and you just find something, get a starter kit or whatever. It's like a lot of, if they have, like these, if they have little tree, pack, get a handful of colors. And to be honest, a lot of times you end up using like the same batch. Like I have hundreds of paints and I probably use maybe 25% of them.
Yeah.
Because I just kind of, and stuff gets shifted. Like I've been messing with a different brand, and I have like a handful of their paints that I use, and I'd like to try these. These look good.
Yeah,
awesome.
Jeff asked about if they're working in airbrush. The way Dave said that some of them seem a little bit thicker, you'd probably have to thin them down with some airbrush thinner. But I mean, any paint really will work in an airbrush. I prefer working with like inks or stuff that's made for an airbrush because I don't like to screw around with thinning paints, but I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. They had another line from them called Atom, which were specifically designed with an airbrush.
Yeah.
And I think they're the exact same paints, except these are a little more thicker, mainly guised for brushing. That's my best research without having had practical hands-on with it.
Yeah.
But I do know if you thin them out like other paints that airbrushing works fine.
I didn't realize we'd get this many questions on paint. So I think we're definitely going to have to step up doing a painting episode.
Yeah.
First time we talked about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so
I mean, you got the expert. He's right above me.
Yeah,
all
right.
That's the main guy here.
Absolutely.
Over there.
I do not consider myself an expert in any field.
No, that'll be cool. So today, we'll see if there's more questions. We'll get to them. But I wanted to talk about Arduin, right? And I know George, like you've talked here and there, and Dave, you too. But let's be honest, it's mostly George, right?
He's got the gift of gab.
I'm gonna let Dave talk this whole episode. So
we'll let Dave do that. Yeah.
It'll be a short episode.
there's a lot of, it's funny you mentioned controversy, that there's always controversy between, different players and things like that. And the, in RPGs and, and all of that. And it goes back, right. I mean, you Gygax and Arneson is probably the biggest one that everybody knows about, but as far as Hargrave goes, so David Hargrave, right? In case nobody knows, right? Which everybody should know this, at this point, I think, right? Dave Hargrave, he's the guy that wrote Arduin, right? He built it. Now, the story kind of goes that he built it on top of D&D, right? As like a multiversal kind of add-on for it. But kind of talking to you guys and stuff, some of it goes on before that even, right? And so I just want to.
I think it's a good blend.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about Hargrave's history, right? Now I don't know too much about his youth or anything, or if you guys want to speak to that, that's fine. I know that in 1964 he went into the Army, and he was a combat photographer in Vietnam, and he was there for 6 years, right, till 1970. Right. And he was right in the thick of things, supposedly, right? He wasn't like a reporter or anything, like on the back lines. Like he was actually up front in the thick of it all, taking pictures. But there's not a lot of stuff. I guess the Army doesn't credit photos. So we don't know what he took.
No,
they would credit him like, Signal Corps took this picture. On the Rhine, roughly these coordinates, something like that. That's how they would credit them usually.
Yeah.
Correct. So from the understanding, again, from talking with family members and doing, our own investigation, they claim that a lot of the footage, so it wasn't also just pictures, but he did filming. A lot of the stuff that you see that is vintage Vietnam footage or photos, they believed it came from Hargrave. It was him, and there was like one or two other guys. But he, like you said, Roger, he went beyond that. He was taking all types of specialized training, and he worked for the Department of Intelligence and the Defense Department. So he was, he was involved more so. I think he was involved, from our understanding, from the family and some other people, that, of course, he was in countries they weren't supposed to be in, doing certain operations. And he was there also to document that and to help, but also document what was going on, especially on those missions too. So he had a very big involvement in Vietnam with what he was doing. So he saw a lot of action, and unfortunately that affected him health-wise down the road, Agent Orange and all.
Yeah, I mean, once you're on the ground, which obviously he was, I mean, you're already eating Agent Orange, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Phosphorus, whatever else is out there,
Yeah. It was the Defense Intelligence Agency that he was. And again, he went to one of the schools for the military intelligence, from our understanding, back in the day. And again, he was in Germany pre-Vietnam for a few years before he went into Vietnam itself.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit last night. It was mentioned. You said he did like some special forces training or something in Germany. Was that?
Yes. Yeah. He and let me see if I can. We got one of his family members, like his second nephew, and I'm going to see if I can grab it.
Sorry to put you on the spot here.
No. Oh my God. Please. It's absolutely fine. Let me see if
it's just interesting, you know what I mean, to look at the history and stuff. And, we mentioned it last night. Like, you look at like Tolkien and, the stuff that he wrote and like where it came from. And, you can imagine somebody in a, I've never been there. Right. But I mean, like, in a trench in bad weather at night, or there's a storm. I mean, you see things, right? Or you hear things, or you don't, and if your mind has got a good imagination, or maybe if you're, nervous or what, I don't know exactly how that stuff works. Right. But like, you know what I mean? You imagine things, right? And you put figures and stuff to it. And then, you end up writing it down, and it becomes part of the fantasy,
Correct. You just start, things again, you come up, your mind starts playing tricks on you. But
Yeah.
he was one of the letters that I have here, and again, I apologize. We're trying to
Yeah, it's all
get
right. Yeah.
better copies of these, but he was like, "Dear Mom, sorry I didn't write sooner. Um, a lot going on. Just came back from Auschwitz. Again, it's hard to read. I hope that's how you spell it. And this is a handwritten. He was learning Chinese, and then he said, I spent 6 days up north with a group of German commandos in mountain climbing and advanced military training, mountain training. And again, it said something about a squad and that he would be busy till October. So, and he wrote letters like that, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but this was from him, from Dave Hargrave, and this was 1963 that this letter that he hand wrote to his mom.
Oh, 63. Okay.
Yeah, 63. I have another one in July of 64. And again, another one to his mom. Hello, Mom. Just a short note. All is well. Not dead yet, but can never tell.
Yeah.
Send that letter to Roberts. I sent you to me. I will remail it. I trust you didn't need it, and I'll send some pictures of me later, and send an up to date of yourself. I want to know how you're doing. He talks about needing a watch, that his watch broke. He talked about he's slated to go again with German Army Commando School and a mountain warfare school in Germany.
Wow.
So, and again, thanks his mom, loved Dave, and that was July of 64 that he was
wow,
in.
yeah.
So,
and then so he got out. He got out in 1970.
Yes.
Right. And he comes back here, and now Dungeons and Dragons comes out officially, right? 1974. Right. That's the
correct.
That's the thing. And now I don't know Hargrave's history between when he comes back. And, I know you've mentioned there's like notes or whatever out there. I don't know how extensive all that is as far as, putting a game together. But I know that 1974 D&D comes out, and then he starts putting together, collecting his notes, and starts building on it, and builds this sci-fi game, which is amazing in itself, because I think the first credited science fiction RPG is Metamorphosis Alpha, and that's 1976. And then Traveler is shortly after in 77, and then Gamma World in 78. But I had thought Metamorphosis Alpha was later, but that's interesting but in 1976, that's when Hargrave had already been running a game, and Greg Stafford was in it. So how long was he running at that point? Like, do you know, like, was he running as soon as 74, like a D&D, or was it even before?
We believe it was
early. We believe it was sooner.
Yeah.
Based off of letters and notes that we have. And the simple fact that he was so prolific that even somebody who wrote as much as he did, I don't know how he could possibly have written as much as he did in 1 year.
Right.
Like, he would have had to have been doing something before that, like the maps, the notes. We have a letter, I think, from somebody asking about alchemy classes, and I can't remember the date on that, but it's in the 70s. And that was to Jim Mathis of Grimoire Games, and he was quoting Dave Hargrave on just don't do it at the time.
Yeah,
Correct.
Because I know, like he was.
Well,
with,
let me
yeah,
put it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to read you something from some articles, and so he came back in '70. But let me read you something that Hargrave said. Coming back home during Christmas of 1970, I eagerly looked forward to gaming. Well, back then partying and seeing old friends, although not exactly in that order. I had not done much thinking about role playing for 2 years, and the idea was on hold until a later time. Now, think about that. He's coming back in the Christmas of 1970. He's already talking about role play games and said all the ideas and stuff are just on hold for the last 2 years, obviously, because of being in Vietnam.
Yeah.
We truly believe, based on the evidence, connecting the dots, that Hargrave with role play, he was obviously into war games before that, just like a lot of them were. But the concept of role play and Arduin and what he was going to put together was already in his head, and he was developing it, we believe, when he was in Germany. And it looked like from Germany, 64, he must have went over in 65 to Vietnam because he did a 6-year stint in there. So, and then he came back in 70. So we believe the start of Arduin with Dave Hargrave was in the mid 60s, that the concepts were there. His ideas already started brewing, because he said that in 1970. And we believe, like Dave said, he was already starting to do Arduin. We've talked to people that said he was in a Mensa group, that he ran a role play, a game for them, which we believe obviously was Arduin, because that's what his family said. He said the Mensa people loved it. It kind of, it intrigued them. It got them going. So we believe late 60s, early 70s, he was already getting Arduin as a campaign, as a system, as a world put together. Yeah. And like I said, the Mensa group, they were getting stimulated by this role play game. What is this? So we believe it started very early.
Yeah. Cooperative Waffles is listening from the beginning, loves you guys, basically. Still have a crush on Arduin. It's one of the set of materials I wish my family didn't lose. So, yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's interesting, seeing some of that stuff. If he's talking about role playing in letters from 1970.
Yeah.
And saying he put it on hold.
Yeah,
right, put it on hold. Yeah.
For 2 years. It's like, wait a minute.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so obviously, so to see, is there any notes or anything when, D&D comes out? Like, is there a shift? Because it clearly looks, and I'm just saying, right? Like it looks like Arduin was built as an add-on to Dungeons and Dragons. So, right. I mean, am I wrong in saying that? Right. I mean, that's what I
think. Yeah. I think what happened was obviously Dave got a hold of Chainmail, had
sure. Yeah.
War games. And he talked about, he came across a copy of Chainmail. And then obviously, D&D in its early phases. But I think what happened was he had Arduin brewing. He was coming up with stuff. And then he found that and said, oh, this is great. Look at this. And
that gave him a system to kind of integrate with.
Yeah, it gave him something to say, oh, they're doing that. I'm doing this. I think, you could do this better. You could do. And then all of a sudden, that's where it just mushroomed, where Arduin became a bolt-on to any type, back then, first edition or old D&D, because it was such a natural fit. But
if you look at a lot of the dungeons that he drew up, or mostly the dungeons, he'll have on their notes about creatures, and only the very early dungeons actually have D&D creatures on them, and not exclusively, but it has some on there. They're written on there, like 6 bugbears or whatever. I'm just making up names here, but it wasn't exclusive to his material either. And his early stuff, if you see it, because I've gone through enough of it to know. There's one book that he did. We previewed one of the maps for it called The Shining Land. That was made in the 80s. There's like hardly any Dungeons and Dragons references in it. There is one page that references other games material for creatures. One of those would be Dungeons and Dragons, and this is only one page. And another one would be Errol Otis's, whatever that booklet was. You probably remember the name, George, because we already discussed it with Errol to use those creatures for the reprint.
Correct. All the world's monsters and stuff like that.
And all the world's monsters. So and that's a couple hundred pages long. So yeah, he does use them a little bit. But I believe when he says in his game that he didn't use it, I believe he didn't, just based off of looking at his old maps and stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. That's how we played it. We played it with Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure.
Obviously.
Yeah, but we're talking before that.
It was a natural fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I can't say, did he build it exclusive for that or not? I don't know. But if you read Alarms and Excursions, he also discusses, the integrations throughout, a dozen years of writing to them.
Everything points that he was already formulating before even D&D officially came out. Even like Dave said, with some of the things you think about it, you look at those 100 pages that he came out with Arduin Grimoire, February of 1977, it was published. But when he was writing it up, again, back then, it was just a hand typewriter. I mean, it was all manual with all that, creating, especially at his level. He wasn't a professional printer. It was just a guy on a typewriter. He was playing Arduin many years before that. And even with the cards we have, as we've stated before, we have thousands of these item cards. We're starting to find dates that are early. Wasn't one, Dave, didn't we have 73? I swear there was a 73. There was so as we look deeper and deeper, we're finding evidence that it was very, again, early 70s, that a lot of the stuff was there, or even prior, late 60s. With that.
So, yeah. And so we know, like at around the same time in the mid 70s, Greg Stafford was trying to get published and couldn't get published. So he started Chaosium in 75, right? Shortly after, D&D hit, whether that was part of the reason or whatever. Now, I know he was trying to publish his own game, couldn't or whatever. He was writing Glorantha at the time and tried to get it in. I think he wrote some adventures or something for some other, I don't know if it was D&D. I guess it had to have been at the time. But he was trying to publish some stuff, and I know it didn't work out. I apologize. I don't know the entire history of every RPG company. But I know, so he started Chaosium in 1975. And then somewhere right around that same time, he's playing in one of Hargrave's games.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Right. Now, whether that was before he started it or after, I don't know. Right. And then, yeah. And then Stafford tells him, hey, I will publish this. And I don't know if they're going to do it in Glorantha or if it was going to basically take the place of RuneQuest at the time. Like, I don't know exactly what, how that went down, but I know ultimately Hargrave sent in all his notes, and basically it wasn't a compiled book, right? It was just a collection of notes, and Stafford basically told him, hey, I don't have the manpower to put this together, right? It's not a complete thing. I can't just publish it. We need 6 people, to put it together and make like actual book out of it. Right. And so he kind of turns him away. And then, and it's interesting because that like parallels, I think anyway, from the stories that, that I've read and heard, parallels the Gygax, Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson, where, Arneson didn't have, he was just running games and having a good time. It didn't have everything written down, and it was all in notes and scraps. And it was Gary that kind of took all that stuff and said, let's write, a thing. And I mean, obviously his prose and the way he put stuff together, I mean, we still look at it today and go, what are you thinking? But he actually put it together, assembled, all those notes. So I think it's kind of like a similar kind of thing that happened there.
Yeah, it's a ton of work.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
on either end of the spectrum, really.
Correct.
And looking at some of like Arneson's like old notes, it's very similar to like what I imagine to Hargrave. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, George. Go ahead.
No, Roger, absolutely. And that was the thing with Greg Stafford. Greg Stafford was at Dave Hargrave's table. He was playing prior, and then when he created Chaosium and started going, the deal was obviously he was enthralled. He learned from Dave, saw what Dave Hargrave was doing, and said, "Why don't we use Arduin as the main world setting for what basically would become RuneQuest?" As and for Chaosium. So he wanted to do that. And like you said, the problem was when Dave delivered, it was a madhouse of notes and, different things kind of, like, oh my God, what is this? And that started on really the falling out was because, Stafford said, this is not publishable, take a ton of work, and started things. And there was unfortunately a situation, so that's what happened. That was part of it. There was more to it too, from what we understand, unfortunately. So it was a bad breakup, I should say.
Well, so and so my understanding of it, and this has an interesting Dungeons and Dragons parallel to later, right? And I don't know if this is just the way Hargrave was. I don't want to, but he didn't like that Stafford, kind of rejected him, probably thinking that, hey, this guy said he was going to publish my stuff. I gave it to him. He's not going to publish it, even though Stafford was probably looking at, like I would imagine, like people tell me, all the time, oh, you should put all your stuff together and publish it. And it's like, I got a pile of index cards and notes and all, like I can't publish that. So I can imagine that, and I'm not comparing myself to Hargrave, right? I mean, but like, I can imagine his stuff and his thoughts and, the way he put him down. But so then he gets rejected by Stafford. And so kind of as a slight, he makes a spell, right? The Rainbow Bridge, or
Starbridge
spell that is what it's like a rainbow bridge that goes somewhere, and the caster can allow anyone they want to pass and also allow anyone that they want to fall through and die presumably or whatever. And so that was his way of like,
you can let your friends cross and then enemies would fall through the bridge. Right. And that's one of his ways of I think saying to Stafford, you could jump off a bridge, and putting it in print. Exactly.
And then
go ahead.
And then later in AD&D, because obviously there was some things that go on there, where TSR is trying to squash Arduin. Gary and Hargrave get into it, and Gary makes the cursed book, the Vacuous Grimoire, and is like, oh, here's this wonderful tome of knowledge, and it corrupts you, and like the only way to get rid of it is to remove curse, and then you have to burn the book and like get rid of it. And obviously, like, it's the Arduin grimoire, right? Like, it's called the Vacuous. Like, obviously that's right. That's a jab. And it's interesting the way these these RPG creators kind of handled conflict by like, oh, you didn't, you rejected me, or this didn't work out and we had an argument, so therefore I'm gonna write something bad about you in my book that's like you know, just a borderline reference that everybody will know. And, you know,
Yeah,
it's interesting to
exactly.
see that happen.
It's interesting how it was. And what after Hargrave basically, again, Greg rejected the Arduin manuscript, is when Hargrave, we believe, started putting it together to publish on his own. So that's when he published in 77. He did all the grimoires, you know, the volume 1, 2, 3. He put it together himself. Toy Pro, he did it all on his own, putting it together and moving forward with that. So it is interesting, all the history. And then, of course, that's when, you know, after he started publishing, when him and Gary, you know, went at it and they sued him. And again, it was over prismatic walls and stuff, you know, the spell of prismatic walls, you know.
Yeah, it seems like at the time, and even now, like, and I get some of it, right? Like, I mean, a company's got to protect its IP, otherwise it doesn't mean anything. But I think you could definitely see there that there's stuff where it seems like they looked at it and said, okay, this could be a real competitor. How could we get rid of it? And I just see like 6 lawyers pawing through the book, and somebody like is like, I got it, prismatic wall. They're going down for this, you know, or whatever. You know, it's like, you see the one, you know, this is the one thing that's good that we're going to get them on this, and that didn't really go anywhere, right? That ended up getting settled.
They settled. They got to a point and they just settled it. So I think they made an agreement of what, you know, Dave could use, or, you know, how he could do it, and they adjusted, and then that settled it. And it is interesting. I do want to point out something. When Arduin came out, 77, 78, 79, you will see things, if you look at the DM's guide, the first edition DM's guide, there are concepts in there that we believe, you know, now looking back and reading through them, that Hargrave had in the grimoires, that they took a few of those, some of those concepts, and kind of started rolling it in to D&D, or had it as options in the book. So there's some influence, and 100% that there was some intimidation from what we understand from, you know, some of the people that were there, you know, at TSR at the time. And I always tell the story of Earl Otis when he started being their artist, and that was 79 or so, 80. And, you know, the whole White Plum Mountain, you know, he told us the story at GaryCon when he did the interior, that piece, which was the Overland, and the Undead Dragon was a homage to Dave Hargrave. And when he handed in the artwork, he said the TSR people had no idea what an undead dragon was until he said, "Are you kidding? We've had those in the Arduin forever." You know, so, you know, he talked about that. And what's interesting enough, if you look at Dragon Magazine, you know, what came out in 79 or 80, I believe one of the early ones had a critical hit chart.
Yeah.
And also, I believe, wasn't it Drogoth, the undead dragon, that came out in the Dragon 2 within those early years after. So you could see where the influence was, but I think there was a little bit of intimidation, because I think Gary and Dave and other people were like, well, you know, we've come up with a great idea. We feel that this is going to go someplace. And they didn't want competition back then. They wanted to be the first, and they wanted to take off, you know, without having a problem. What's sad is, with everything too that eventually happened with Gary and Dave on the TSR side, we always thought, can you imagine if all these people worked together, what they could have done?
Oh my God, right.
You know, all the and what could have been developed, you know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what happens when you get a bunch of big egos in a room, and you know what I mean? Everybody thinks that their stuff is a little bit better than the next guy's, or their idea should be the thing. And, you know, it's hard to sometimes let go of that stuff, you know, but,
absolutely. And from our understanding, Dave Hargrave, again, he settled with Gary. So with TSR, they, you know, settled out of court, so to speak. And then with Greg, I guess there was a reconciliation at one point. So at least it became professional.
Well,
you know,
and we could see that, right? Because in the early 80s, he was writing for Call of Cthulhu. right?
Yes.
So
He
he was
wrote-
working right
Yep.
for Stafford at the time.
Correct. He wrote 2 modules for Call of Cthulhu. He wrote Dark Carnival and Black Mountain were the 2 that he did. And Dark Carnival was one of those really deadly, like, probably like the equivalent of an R-rated module back in the day.
Yeah.
So it like he didn't hold back, and he wrote that Dark Carnival was 19. Let's see, I think he wrote that like early 80s, and Black Mountain he wrote after that. So it was interesting.
Yeah,
So he
so-
did do some Call of Cthulhu.
So Hargrave publishes on his own, right, until 78.
Yes.
And then so Jim Mathis is also in his game, right?
Correct.
And he starts Grimoire Games, and they
Yes.
they start publishing Arduin. Now is
Yeah, so Hargrave didn't really have the money from what we understand.
right.
Correct.
Mathis fronted the money, and by fronting the money, he bought all the copies.
Oh, so he bought all the rights to everything. Now, when
Yes, right.
Hargrave printed the stuff, like when he was self-publishing, did he like go to a printer? And I mean, it's like, you see guys do it now, like where, I can get a printer and buy the paper and I can fold the stuff in half and staple it.
Right.
And it's still work. It's a lot of work, but like I can do that. But in 1976,
I don't think so.
not so easy.
Not all of it was done at printers.
No.
I definitely think there were runs made at printers because there were a lot of copies sold back then. There were a couple box sets, but I think they were also, run into the copy shop
And just making them as they needed them,
on
and
Xerox machines.
just kind of copying them page
Correct.
by page and hand
I
stapling them
think
and all
so. I
Yeah.
can't attest the proof of that, but I would wager yes that is the case.
that. So then,
But I'd also wager that a lot of it, the early ones were probably all done at professional printers.
Correct.
Because you could see differences in between editions and years
Yeah.
that they were made.
okay,
Correct. Once
then
Jim Math. Yeah. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead, George.
No. I was going to say once Jim Mathis and Grimoire Games came in, that's when they started producing them more professionally, so to speak. Like Dave said, Hargrave pretty much was a guy on a typewriter and Xeroxing initially. The initial ones.
Right. Does any of that still exist? I mean, do you guys have like any of the original like Xeroxed copies or books or anything, or is that hidden away in the vault you
We
can't
have
talk
a
about?
bunch of we have a bunch of the early Errol Otis printings. We gave away most of them back when we started the company, just as pro bonos to people.
Wow. Okay.
And
yeah.
there's a handful of them left. Whether they're first runs or not, I don't know, but they did come directly from Mathis.
Yeah.
When we purchased it.
We have a few,
Okay.
and we have some of the original plates for the artwork. So we do have some of those originals. That's why we're able.
We have some of the original artwork. We have some original artwork that never even made it into the books from like Morno and stuff. And we also have, I'm forgetting what I was going to say there, but some handwritten manuscripts on the later grimoires that were all written out by hand. Like Arduin Grimoire 5, we have the entire book handwritten by Hargrave.
Wow.
Yeah. So we
have a few of those books,
Yeah.
written by him, all in handwriting.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
And so that happens, and then at some point, Hargrave goes to Dragon Tree Press, right, and prints stuff there. But
So
that's at the same time Grimoire Games owns the rights.
I think Dragon Tree Press actually came to Dave Hargrave.
Yes.
I'm a little. It's a little polluted on
Yeah.
the story there, but I believe they came to him, and Hargrave had to go to Mathis as well as Dragon Tree and get permission
Correct.
to make the later books.
Yeah.
So there's contracts on those books.
Okay.
For-
But then that,
And
but that contract for Dragon Tree, that ends abruptly when Dave passes on in 88, right? And they stop
well,
printing at that
we
point,
can't really
or-
get into those contracts, but when we bought
Right,
the rights to Arduin, we did tell Dragon Tree to cease and desist production. And it went back and forth quite a bit, and essentially we started a lawsuit in federal court with them.
When did you guys take over officially? When did you buy the license?
1998.
1998. So it's 10 years after David passed. Okay. And so so Dragon okay, I don't want to get into the details of contracts and stuff. If I don't want to
it's okay.
dig into that stuff there if you don't.
Yeah, but basically Dave Hargrave, Jim Mathis basically allowed Dragon Tree Dave to write for Dragon Tree for 4 through 8 volumes, 4 through 8, and then he was able to make some money off of those writings in addition, to the first 3 books that Grimoire Games had. So that stayed in.
But for the record, the books he did write for Dragon Tree, the later Arduin Grimoires 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, he really got screwed on payments on that. And I don't mean he didn't get paid. I mean he didn't get paid hardly anything. He barely got maybe a nickel a book or something. We have letters that attest to that from Hargrave to others that state he basically did it for nothing.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
I
Wow.
think he made less on those books than we can make on our paints, and believe me, the margin isn't high.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that's interesting. So then, so that happens. They're printing stuff. Grimoire Games, they stop printing it, or they go out of business.
What happens is Dave Hargrave passes in 88.
Yeah.
And what happens is Jim Mathis with Grimoire Games, and then Mark Scheinert, who's his friend and also a player and has been helping, finishes off the Arduin, the new Arduin that Dave Hargrave was working on. And in 1992, they produce the complete Arduin, or as we call it, Arduin 2. They produce, the large size book. It's a 2-volume set. And they produce that, and it comes out in 92. And unfortunately, I've talked about this, there was a lot happening in the industry, and a card game called Magic the Gathering was starting to take off at that point, too.
93, yeah.
So, and the industry was changing at that point, too. It was just becoming different. So that didn't go over well, but unfortunately that didn't go well. And I think right after that, Grimoire Games kind of decided to close the doors after a couple years. So we believe, what was it, Dave? Maybe about 95. I think it was no longer, Arduin was kind of out of the scene, but Dragon Tree kept producing 4 through 8 at that point. They were still
Right. Well, the complete
4 through
Arduin
8.
never really took off either. Any book that says complete is always the most incomplete book you'll ever come across. And the complete Arduin was actually missing a few things. I mean, it was a noble effort, I'd say, but it was definitely missing some things. And I credit Mark for coming out with writing it, because he brought to light the battle factor system, which Hargrave was actually using in the early 80s, maybe even in the late 70s, which is his percentile system.
Correct.
Yeah. It's interesting. The just you mentioned Magic, right? In 1993, in the 90s, right? Peter Adkison forms the small company called Wizards of the Coast. It was a small company, and in 1993 or 1992, I think, this game creator Richard Garfield comes to Peter Adkison with this convoluted game that has a game board and cards, and it's pre-programmed movement, and you're moving a robot along a floor and all this stuff with conveyor belts and everything. Robo Rally, which is out now, and he brings that to Peter Adkison, and Peter Adkison is like, no, we can't. This is way too complicated. We can't do this. Let's try and come up with something simple like a card game. And Richard Garfield comes back with, Magic the Gathering, and it explodes. And, it's interesting because of that, for good or for bad. That's about the same time when, the years he gets his Magic Funny Money, and then TSR at the time is facing insolvency. They're going to go bankrupt. They don't have a bunch of money. And Peter Adkison used to play Dungeons and Dragons growing up, finds out, oh, this company's going bankrupt. I used to play this game as a kid. I've got all this money I don't know what to do with, so I'm just going to buy TSR, and buys it and tries to save, Dungeons and Dragons. And I think he successfully did that. I know I'll probably get some hate in the comments for that, but I mean, Wizards of the Coast really did kind of rescue, who knows what would have happened, but third edition became pretty successful, and the rest is history. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Arduin. So Stan, welcome back. How you doing?
God. I hate fucking computers.
Sorry, man. And so, one note too, I see Savage Splendor says, Vampire the Masquerade and everything started. So the industry was just changing in the early 90s. There was a lot of influence. It was bad time to come out with a new Arduin at that point.
I couldn't play VTM. I remember some point in the 90s, I got invited to, it was early 2000s. I don't know. Late 90s, I think it was. I got invited to play some Vampire the Masquerade, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out, whatever. I was playing superhero games and stuff at the time, and I was like, okay, Vampire's not my thing, but whatever. And they played over at the local college, in one of the halls there, and I go over there, and I go in, and the lights are dim, and everybody's wearing trench coats, and like everybody's talking funny, and like they're just acting like, they're in medieval England. I don't know. It was just a crazy, and I'm like, what is going on? That was like my first kind of introduction to a LARP. And I was like, guys, what about like the rules? Like, I brought my dice. And they're like, oh yeah. We just kind of do this. And I'm like, okay, I can't, this isn't what I signed up to sit at a table and roll dice. And like, you guys want to dress up and wander around and talk to each other, and like, I'm like, no, I'm out. Like, I'm sorry. I know that there's a lot of people out there that like doing that, and you guys can have it. I just, I just can't.
Yeah, like I said, the industry was changing at that point. So
Jason was going around with the black eye makeup and everything. He was really, into it.
Looks
These
like
black eyes and bangs are from exhaustion, my friend.
Yeah, Jeff. Cosplay competition. Yeah. Paper, rock, scissors, VTM LARP. They were doing that. Yeah.
Since you brought it up, though, I did play Vampire a couple of times, but none of us were LARPers.
Right.
And it was, I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. I thought it was great. And I liked Werewolf much more than Vampire. Because Werewolf is all about the pack. It's a team effort to meet your objectives. Well, Vampire, everybody wants to be the solo. Everybody wants to be Lestrade or whatever nonsense is out there.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's
I liked it.
Like, I think I would have liked it if that was the case, but that completely turned me off.
Yeah.
The whole LARPing thing, and I was like,
the LARPing thing is just weird.
I was like, all right, screw this game. I'm not playing it. And I've never played it since. The only thing that's sort of bringing me back to it is Chubby Funster's Shadow City. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that wants, like, like, okay, this looks cool. It, makes me want to like try it again. And I mean, there's no way I'm inviting anybody that was, at dressed up, 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
Right.
Like none of those people are on the like I remember, I know some of their names. They're not coming because they would dress up. If I said, hey, I'm going to play a vampire game, they wouldn't bring any dice. They wouldn't bring a pencil, wouldn't bring a paper, but they'd show up with, eyeshadow on, a wig and a trench coat. You know what I mean? I mean, that's vampire. That's at least the local thing. Like when people say, oh, we're going to play VTM, like that's what they were doing. And I just couldn't, I just couldn't do it. So yeah, if you were able to play and like actually sit down, like, at a table with character sheets and dice, I mean, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what the character sheet looks like because we never, like, it was never that. Like somebody mentioned, they were doing rock, paper, scissors. Like that was the mechanic. And I was like, no, guys, there's rules for this stuff. Like, no, this is just quicker. So we don't have to worry about like, rules and all of that. And we can get back to, playing dress up. And I'm like, okay. Fun times. So, so there, were there ever, does Hargrave mention in his letters anything about any Arduin LARPs? They all dress up as Frank and get together and
they haven't found any of those. Thank God. Nope. None of those.
Yeah. I'm trying to picture this hardcore Vietnam vet doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I've been trying to get George to get them tights on.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, not happening.
What about you, Agile? What can we count on you to do that? Dress up and Agile monk being an SF
count
guy.
on you.
No, but like I said, the 90s kind of started changing the landscape of the industry. So that's kind of affected everything.
And that's when was it Arduin Eternal? Was that when that came out in the 90s?
No,
was that
the complete Arduin?
Complete Arduin. That was
complete
the one.
Arduin was what Shiner did. That was Dave Hargrave's
92.
Arduin 2, as we call it. So,
and that was published. Like he didn't finish that, right? He was close to finishing it, and then that's when he passed.
He passed in 88, and they came out with it in 92. So they came out with it, 4 years after he had passed away. And before that, he came out with the, this one, the Arduin Adventure. He came out with his basic set of rules. So he did this, but the complete Arduin was going to be the next evolution, which was a percentile-based system. From there, that was going to be everything at that point. But that's where near the end, though.
So you said it was going to be a percentile system, or was a percentile system?
It is.
Was he doing that to like distance from D&D, or is it because you think maybe he was writing stuff for Chaosium and started to like the percentile system, or?
I think neither.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, personally speaking, I think he saw it as an evolution of making the system better. Originally, when he started the D100 system, he was on a 1-to-5 ratio, which, makes sense.
Yep.
5 every 5 on a D20.
Sure.
Eventually, you can see he transformed it over to a 3-to-1 ratio.
Oh.
Which gave him a broader spectrum of numbers.
Yeah.
And it allowed him to play games with plus 13 swords.
Right.
Because plus 13 is for the percentile.
Right.
Yeah.
It allowed you to do things that you couldn't do.
Right.
And make things sound more outrageous too. And he was doing the percentile long before any system that I am aware of. It started coming into fruition in his writings in Arduin Grimoire 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
and what year was that?
Definitively playing it. That was, I don't remember the year. George can figure that one out. But they were definitely playing it years before that.
Okay.
many years before that, and a lot of the cards that we have out of the 4,000 plus cards reflect the battle factor system. That's the name he has for his percentiles, and a lot of the cards even say retrofitted for the battle system, which were pre that, and then he would retrofit the card and write down what the plus would be in battle factor.
Correct.
Okay.
I think the AG.
And then you'd have to decipher which year it was, because like I said, it was either +3 or +5.
He was doing AG.
They came to the conclusion that +3 was the best number at the time.
I think AG4 was like 8081 was his volume 4. So
Okay.
and I know
so
around that time or a couple years after, Rollmaster also kind of hit the scene, I believe, in the very early age.
I'm just curious about Stafford when he started Chaosium, so they've been on a percentile system for a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if their first, RuneQuest was percentile based and what year that
I don't
was. So I would imagine it was just
It could
pretty
be.
early,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know offhand. That's something I don't know. But yeah, interesting.
But I know they were playing percentiles probably long before they even had come out with the trilogies, or right around that time they were already crossing over.
Yeah. I think it was already in a play test mode. They were already experimenting. So and
he talks about it in various areas.
Yeah. Dave, he always was evolving. So that's why you'll see constant change in the books. He was always developing a new idea or a new concept. And you can see the progression where it just, what started in book 1 may be very different by book 3, 4, or 5. Different concepts, different ways to do things. So constant.
This is a good question for Jason, because I don't know the answer to this. Twilight 2000, was that originally D100?
I don't remember. It's been too long, but I have my box set right back there. Give me a quick moment, and I will let you know.
Yeah. So you guys, so it's interesting. You guys are going back to the D20 system?
Yes.
Or future stuff? Is that? Can we talk about that? Is that?
Oh yeah, no. That's absolutely fine, Roger. Not a problem. Not a problem. So
I don't want to spoil anything that no. Knows here. I don't want
to. What's happened if we kind of, accelerate the timeline? What happened was, again, after Complete Arduin, and then we came into the picture in '98, and we bought Arduin from Grimoire Games. We reproduced all the books. We got 4 through 8 under us. We created the 9th Grimoire, where it was some of Dave's notes, and we had other people. So we finished off basically the trilogy of trilogies. 333 was what Hargrave was doing. In about 2012, we came out with Arduin Eternal, which was like a offshoot of Arduin 2. It was a D100 based system, extremely country.
Okay.
There was a lot of stuff in there, a lot of cultural stuff, but to be honest, when you look at that, we probably had the equivalent of a lot of different feats and skills and all that, but it was way too much.
Yeah.
It was
just trying to put everything that Hargrave had kind of culminated in and like put it all under one kind of thing.
Correct.
Yeah,
and it was based on the D100 system. It was just too much. And then, obviously, like we've talked on other streams, 2014, Dave and I had a massive amount of personal deaths, and with us, with William Watt, our main sculptor, so we went into hiatus for 7 years. So then, when we came back, it'll be about 5 years in October in 2021. We decided when we started taking a look at everything, brushed everything off, and we started looking at Dave Hargrave's notes, and he wanted to go back to a D20 system before he passed away.
Okay.
That's why he came out with Arduin Adventure, and he wanted to go back to some of his original things. So based on that, we went back and we decided to complete, his magnum opus, his Arduin Bloody Arduin. So we're basing it on the old material, the D20, the original grimoires. I mean, we are using bits and pieces, from Complete Arduin. We've kind of gone through that and took a look at what's capable to come over. And now we're creating a cohesive system that's going to come out in the future here. And to your point earlier, Roger, when you said a bunch of notes and how difficult it is.
Yeah.
It is taking us a long time because it's a massive amount of work trying to streamline and go through 10 volumes of, of work.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Is this going to work? What do we have to drop? What can we keep? Does it make sense? So it's a massive undertaking to try to do that. So we are going back to the original D20 based, system for Arduin.
And I want to talk about how you guys got involved, but I just want to go back to Jason. It looks like he was holding up a bag of D6s.
Oh,
so is that a D6 pool?
It is D6 and D10.
Oh, okay.
I'm still looking through it. There does not appear to be a unified die roll.
It's just whatever different things.
There's a lot of funky stuff going. And again, I have not played the original since high school, and that would have been 88.
Yeah.
So I don't remember most of this, but there's things like, let's see, we're talking about gaining experience points. His current skill level as a rifleman is 43, so it sounds like it's going to be a percentile system.
Percentile, yeah.
He subtracts 43 from 100 and divides the result by 100, determining that his current multiplier is 100 minus 43 equals 57. 57 divided by 100, his multiplier is 0.57.
Oh, this sounds like a game Stan wants to play.
yeah.
Hold on, I'm just gonna go slam my head in the door over there and have just as much fun.
Yeah, that's the one that caught my eye. I was like, oh man,
And I remember playing that back in the day. I mean, we played Rollmaster. We played,
absolutely.
Bushido. We even played a game called Moro Project back in the day. If you guys ever heard of Moro Project.
It sounds familiar. Moral.
Yeah. So there was a lot of stuff that was exceedingly crunchy.
Top Secret, Boot Hill, Gamma World.
When you're
a lot of Rollmaster,
when you're 17 and you can still just devour numbers like that, it's no problem.
Yeah, right.
I'm creeping up on 55 now, and that math is like, man, I really like the new Twilight 2K.
Yeah, Savage Splendor says, yeah, that sounds like what I remember Twilight 2000 as a kid. It was all over the place.
Yeah.
Jeff mentioned having a D100, you could throw in a sock and take people out. Now, I hesitate to even hold this thing above my laptop to show it to you. So I got that, my laptop here, my phone's over there, and my tablet's over here, and so this could kill some. But this is the this is the D100 that I got from Joe Block, and this thing is solid brass. Yeah, you guys have felt this thing, but oh my god, and this is 8 inches above my laptop keyboard. Like, I mean, if I drop this, like the stream is gonna end. Like that's, it's like, and then it's going to roll on the floor and it's going to land on my foot and break my toe through my shoe. You know what I mean? Like, so,
wow.
So yeah. No, this thing is crazy.
That's awesome. But yeah, it's amazing. The games back in the day. And we did a lot of that. And we'll get right back to it in a minute, Roger, but we played Arduin not only with D&D, but one of our campaigns, Dave ran one campaign, I ran another. We used Rollmaster with Arduin, and we had a ball. We loved it.
Yeah.
So again, we were even matching back in the day. So
Edgelord remembers Moral Project.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to butcher that name. Focu? Oh. Is that what that says? Oh. All right, you got me.
That's awesome.
All right.
So, I'm sure it's actually pronounced folk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to tell people.
I'm sure. So
I know you wanted to talk about where we came in
Yeah.
to
So
speak, Roger.
so
or-
you guys at some point decided to form a company called
Mhm.
Emperor's Choice, right?
Yes.
How does that happen? I mean,
We-
it just
But prior to 98, Dave and I, we were basically just buying games like as a retailer. We were selling games. We'd buy
Okay.
it from distributors. So we loved it because it gave us a way to start into the, as a hobby, but to start making a little money. And
so
we could buy.
did you run a store?
Yeah, it was like
Did you
we
run
were
a store
like
at the time, or
it wasn't a brick and mortar, but we do mail order. We were pretty much just a mail
Okay.
order back then,
mail
But
order? Remember those times?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Remember
people had to
4 to-
write and like
yeah,
mail a
4 to
check.
6 weeks to deliver stuff, not this Amazon
COD.
2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
wow.
used to do mail order, and it was a chance for us to get games too, because we were still gamers. So we would sell them, but we'd also
So-
buy them.
RPGs, board games,
Yeah,
just
board
anything kind of
games.
gaming.
Yeah, anything. And as a matter of fact, we used to advertise in Dragon. There was a couple ads from Emperor's Choice and Dragon back in the day. So we did that. And then Dave went to Chessex and found the archive molds. He used to
Yeah.
Chessex. He used to be able to grab a little cart and go around and pick things that you'd want to buy. And he saw a bunch of molds and casting equipment and asked the guy, and they were like, yeah, these are the archive molds. And so Dave decided, let's buy them. And
Put it in the shopping cart and just
Yeah. So we got a casting
so
machine and
so Dave is walking through the Chessex warehouse, and then I just want to make sure I got this right. He's walking through the Chessex warehouse, sees these molds.
I had a little shopping cart.
And somehow you look at these molds and you think to yourself, we're a casting business now, and just
Yeah, there was a couple pallets of stuff, and I set up a meeting right then and there with the president of Chessex and cut a deal.
and that, so buying, I don't know exactly how that works, right? Buying the molds like that gave you the rights to the miniatures and all of that, so you could print those. Like, they're not copyright to somebody else's game or whatever.
No, we bought the copyright.
You bought the copyright and
from
everything.
Chessex.
Okay. Okay, interesting. And so do you still have those? Do you still make those?
So
or?
we sold the rights to archive, excluding the stuff we weren't allowed to sell, which was no longer allowed to be produced ever, and excluding the Arduin material.
Okay.
And we sold that along with 2-3 lines of stuff from Grenadier Miniatures as well.
So you picked up some more stuff along the way.
Yeah. So we sold all of that to Mega Miniatures, Johnny, and that was that. But we retained the rights to our Arduin materials out of archives.
So is that all that's left? I mean, as far as what you guys have from miniature making stuff, is it just the Arduin line currently?
From archive, it's the Arduin line. There's some stuff we kept, like some spaceship stuff. There's some space stuff that we did keep, but we haven't really, done any casting out of those lines in a long time because they're so old. We've taken a look at some of them, maybe, but we're not sure what we'll do with those in the future. But we still do have them. We still do have, other than the ones we sold off. And the couple other lines we sold off were the Guthries from Grenadier. We had Personalities 1 and 2, and we sold those.
We had Personalities 1, Personalities 2, the Lords of Decay, the Lords of Light.
That's right.
And then there were a bunch of other miscellaneous ones, like some wolves and some minotaurs and stuff.
Correct.
And then of course you guys have commissioned your own molds and everything, right? Mm-hmm. For just the Arduin stuff, or has there been other stuff that you guys have done? Or?
So all of the Grenadier stuff only came as master models. Mm-hmm. The molds were no longer available. So I personally made all the molds for that. And we have a company out in New England that we have used on remote occasion to make a couple molds, and we've used, and I don't know if they still exist. I think they do, or they changed over to Railparth, the Iron Wind.
Yeah.
Iron Wing, yeah.
Yeah.
They're still around.
They were making. Are they okay? Yeah, they were doing some mold making for us too, because we just don't have the time or energy to do it, and they do a great job, and they're really nice to deal with. So
Correct.
So yeah, I was going to ask how you guys got involved with Arduin.
After we became a miniature company in 98, we were like, why don't we get something like a role play game, that could help to centralize the miniatures, give us a game to go with it. And of course, as soon as we thought about it, Arduin came to mind, because we're like, my God, we played Arduin. Wonder whatever happened to Arduin, because we heard nothing. We started searching and we couldn't find anything. And Dave hunted down Jim Mathis in California. So Dave was able to find Jim Mathis. After about 2 to 3 months, we were the proud owners of Arduin. We bought the rights. We bought all the, the material, the components 1 through 3, and all that. So as soon as we did that, we trademarked Arduin. We started getting all the copyrights registered, and then we started reproducing the books. That's when we ran into the issue with Dragon Tree Press for 4 through 8, and then we had to, like I said, take them to federal court. We won that. They were paying us royalties for the use of Arduin, and to be able to produce the books at a limited basis. They've, just so you know, to close that cap, they went out of business. And once they went out of business, they stopped paying royalties, and that terminated that agreement. So all of 4 through 8 is under us, and it's clean. There's no problem.
So everything Arduin is 100% yours.
Yes. Everything Arduin is under Emperor's Choice, period, and we have the trademark for Arduin. So it's all centralized, which, took almost 20 years, and going through court and putting all the pieces together. So that's how, we got the whole Arduin, was back then in 98. Roger, that, we got Arduin. But it's kind of funny how we went from a retailer to miniatures, now to a role play game.
Yeah. Now you're creating this new version of Arduin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
Can I ask what the, I know I can ask, but whether you'll answer or not, I don't know, but what's the plan going forward? Like, are you guys still looking to buy, other games or publish, other games, or is it, hey, we've got Arduin now, this is our thing, and we're going to, this is the world that we're in, and we're going to support this? Or, what's the, like, is there a plan? Or
we always, just so you know, Roger, we always keep open our options. I mean, we just recently almost bought some lines of miniatures and molds, but it fell through because something happened. They were able to find a different venue to cast for them. So we always keep our mind open that if there's a property or if there's a mold line, a miniature line, we're always open to take a look, like how viable would it be for us to absorb it and bring it under the MCHO umbrella. So we always keep an eye open, but right now our main focus is Arduin, because it's the core item we have, our core IP that drives everything else. The maps, the miniatures, everything has been built to support Arduin as a game. So that's our main focus. We have talked, because in the archives, we do have some other things. Dave and I made a miniature World War II game years ago that, it's kind of written up, but it would need to be revised. So we've dabbled into that. We actually do have some World War II miniatures that we did create. So that's kind of in the back burner. There are some other things that Dave Hargrave created that are in the vaults that we've creating, but it would be different from Arduin, but he did write some other games. He did.
And that stuff's all yours as well. There's no
Yes. No,
you have
there's
the
no.
copyright and all that stuff.
Yes, we have all of that. Like I said, there's quite a bit of material. As you know, we've talked about it. We have hundreds of his dungeons. We have 4,000 freaking item cards, all the cards. So there's a lot of support there for Arduin. But the main thrust right now is to continue supporting that. But obviously, look what we just announced tonight.
Sure.
You know, we got the whole paint line.
Yeah.
And
Paint line. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, if you see and you look what we're doing, we're building it so that you have everything. You know, we have the dice now, we have the paints, we have the miniatures. You know, now we have Arduin as our, you know, which has always been the main thrust. But then we have some GM screens. You know, we might, who knows what we could add on in the future, but we're developing something so we have this support system as a company and say, hey, you need this, we got this. You know, anything for your gaming needs, we got here.
Yeah, cool.
Arduin being the centerpiece, you know, being the crown jewel. So, but doesn't mean we're not open to stuff. You know, if Bushido all of a sudden became available and dropped in our lap, we'd probably snag it up. You know what I mean? We go, oh, boom, okay, we could do something with this. You know,
I would fully support that acquisition.
Oh, okay. We would go for it.
The thought of World War II game kind of scares me because of conversations I've had with Dave, and he's talked about running. I believe it was a World War II game, that RPG. That's it's a 9-hour game. You said, Dave, 9 hours, and the first.
It's an Arduin World War II game.
The first hour is the commanding officer's speech or something. Is that?
Well, I don't think it took an hour. Well, maybe it did, but
we have lots on the burner, Roger. Yes, it's basically an Arduin adventure that actually we're working on and developing, getting artwork for.
You laugh, I'm telling you.
Huh?
No, I'm just messing.
Yeah.
I'm just messing. But yeah, Bushido, I mean, you know, maybe see where that's
we're always looking for other things. Let me say, like I said, Dave Hargrave wrote some other things that we have in the vaults and we've looked at it. But again, it's always, you know, the money, the effort, the time, how much.
Sure.
And you can never take something for the most part in a raw state and just roll it out again. You kind of got to go through it and kind of vet it and see where it's at, and then be able to kind of, you know, and then of course you want to take it to the next level. You want it in a really cool format, new material, a cool book, a cool box. So we're always looking to take something to the next level, you know, big banners, you know, and stuff like that. So well, we keep our mind open to things, but the goal right now, truthfully, get ABA done. We need Arduin, bloody Arduin. We need to roll that out and get it done.
How is that done? How far is that along, or like how close is that to going to print? Is I guess first is the goal to go to Kickstarter with that, or is that just going to get rolled out?
We're going to do a Kickstarter. It makes a lot of sense to do a Kickstarter with that in the future.
Is there like a time frame on that, or is we still?
We're hoping if we can pull it off to get that rolled out by next year, the end of next year. So we're looking late 27, early 28 would be give or take if everything goes okay.
Okay. And
we're chugging along. We already have some adventures almost done. The books we're gonna, the last huge piece that we're gonna deal with coming up in the next 2-3 months will be monsters. Those are our last pieces to go through the monsters, and to give everyone a concept of what it's taking. The Arduin spells, there was 842 spells in Arduin, but there's a redundancy. I mean, that includes all the versions. We boiled that down to a little over 300, but the problem is it took years. years of creation, years of play testing, and years of development to boil it down. So having an existing IP is great, but sometimes it's a anchor because you have so much you got to look at and revise. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're starting to put together what we're calling the Player's Grimoire. It's going to be 3 books: Player's Grimoire, the Game Master Grimoire, and the Monster Grimoire. So it's going to be 3 books, basically players, GM, and then a monster manual. So it is what we're going to have.
That seems to be the why mess with that seems to have worked for the last 50 years. Players, GM, monster, it's worked out really well historically.
Yeah, unless you guys have a different thought. We're always looking.
I've always got thoughts on that, but also that's worked since before I was born, so I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah,
I believe. I mean, I believe ABA should include a vacuous grimoire. Yeah,
a vacuous grimoire. It just seemed right now that seems the most sensible route for it.
Yeah, cool.
It makes the most sense.
Cool.
So
are you thinking? Are you thinking like the little brown book, little brown books type of way, or like actual full size 8.5 by 11?
We're gonna go full size 8.5 by 11. We've looked at the smaller one, but we've spent. There's so much material, and we've spent an inordinate amount of money on artwork. And the last thing I want to do is take these beautiful pieces of artwork,
and shrink them down. Sure.
I want absolutely. Our books are probably going to be pretty artwork heavy, to be honest. I mean, we've got artwork constantly. We have new batches of artwork coming out, and the artwork we're going to be doing, like I said, you guys have seen our banners. That's all part of the custom artwork that we have done for Arduin, Bloody Arduin. And we're doing a mixture. It's going to be color and black and white in the book. So it's going to be both. But what we're doing is, like if we're doing the giants, they'll all be color. If we're doing, let's say, certain demons, they'll all be black and white. So there'll be a consistency within the book, but there will be all types of color in black and white.
Dan's a B5 guy. I don't know if that's the perfect size. B5 is Forbidden Lands, and that's what Jason Vey uses for his books there.
It's good size.
13 parsecs, and but is it the perfect size? I don't know
about that, but
that's
not a bad size.
I don't know. We could do an episode on paper and sizing.
Yeah. I think I have to wash my hair that night.
Is that
same?
Same with Stan. Yeah.
Fucking take care of my beard.
Is that the in between size, or like this? Like this is like the 13-inch. It's not a full.
Yeah, that's a weird. Yeah, that's I don't know.
It's a 10 by
10 by.
Yeah,
look, I got a player's handbook, and you can see with this
size matters. Yeah. That's why I got upset with Dolman Wood, because they used A4 instead of letter, and it's just the books are like an inch thinner and a half-inch taller. Yeah, and it's just I don't know.
Right now we think 8.5 by 11.
That's what we call a first world problem.
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah, so a standard RPG's book size, I guess. That's still a standard 8.5 by 11. Hardcover. I assume you do hardcovers, and then you're gonna do like a slipcase for the Kickstarter. Or
we've got some ideas. We're thinking the 3 books, do a GM screen. There'll be modules, and
what about a clear acrylic box with a magnetic lid?
Well, we've talked about having a special box, for it, so you have all the books and everything in this beautiful case. Yeah. So yes,
those are always a possibility.
Yes.
No, I know you guys did that on the last one. I was just
correct. And we might take it
I know, Roger. I got a dry sense of humor.
So we may take it a step up from there, from the box there.
Oof.
So
No, cooperative waffles. No landscape GTRPG books. No, absolutely not. No, I mean, I don't know if I'm alone on this, but no.
What are they, like, long?
Yeah, it's 8.5
Oh.
by 11, but 11 by 8.5.
Nah.
So they would
I actually agree with you, Roger. No.
8.5 side. You know what I mean? That's like a coffee table,
Yeah, that's like a
book or
art
something
book or
there.
something.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
All set.
Yeah.
I don't mind this. I don't
Yeah.
like Jason's stuff is
I'm out.
mind that.
Dan wants to know how much stuff he can write for ABA. You guys going to have a license or open or what's have you got that figured out yet?
We haven't gotten that figured out yet. We're gonna, Dave and I, we're gonna have some discussions, and that's gonna depend on a lot of things. If we do, we've to be, to let everybody know, and we've said this before, we avoided OGL, we avoided D20 license back in the day, the pre-OGL. So we didn't want Arduin to be connected to something and then we're connected to another license and God knows the ramifications. So we're still debating what we're going to do, Dan. So we're going to figure that out, once we get to that point, probably in the next year, we'll figure out what we'll do as far as a third party, so that we're not sure is the best answer we can say. So we've always tried to avoid that, to be honest. Always.
Yeah. It seems to be, the thing now, that's like a lot of publishers seem to go that route where they have like an open license or something where you can, so people can write stuff for their, for the system, but, so, but I mean, I get it, but just curious.
No, and we may very well do it. It just right now we're like back and forth. How are we going to do it? How are we going to structure it? What type of thing?
Then we can have the edgelord grimoire, You can have that. I don't know if I'd back that one, but
yeah. But no, we're going to try to come up with a couple, other cool ideas. We've got some thoughts, on what we could do for the Kickstarter and for the core game. And of course, once we come out with it, like I said, we're looking at modules. We're looking at Arduin, have some gazetteers, kind of like the old Karamikos and that, how they used to have.
Oh, yeah. I have those behind me.
Yeah. Those we thought were really neat. Maybe something like that for the world, in Arduin, the world of Kaz. So we've got plans to kind of, again, support it with a lot more material. So that's kind of on the far horizon, once we get ABA out. But ABA is our main focus for everything right now. And again, we're just going to keep plugging away. And, in between, we'll kind of do a little bit here and there. But we got to just get this done. It's just year after year. Holy cow.
Yeah,
we got to do something.
Oh, yeah. I got to do something. Here we go.
Wow. Yeah. No, it's going to be great. I can't wait. I think, Arduin, Bloody Arduin is going to be awesome. So, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can see it. And then that's based on basically what you guys were doing a little bit at CNY.
I was just going to say, yeah, the card pack, the Arduin Pocket Rules. It's not fully ABA, but there's elements of ABA, in there. So, and that went over well. I know, Jason.
I didn't get to play. I think, Jason, you were the only one that played it. I think, Stan, you didn't really play much of anything, right?
No, I didn't play anything.
You were the only one that played it. What did you think about it?
I loved it. I thought it was super cool. And I'm not just saying that because they're sitting there. It was really neat. I think all of our characters are 5th level, which is, for me, that's a really great level. You're not going to get one-shotted. You've got some cool abilities that you can use. everybody was able to do something different. Yeah, and we fought the plant monster and a couple of the things. It's oddball. It's not. Like I've talked before about having memorized the Monster Manual 1 and 2 for AD&D. There's nothing in there that you're going to surprise me with. With Arduin, we're walking along and I'm like, well, this is probably going to kill us because it's Arduin, but I have no idea what this is. It was neat. It was just a really great time. My guy, he had like a magic spear that it was kind of like, the magic throwing hammer that always returns. So I would throw my spear and then it would come back, and it was just really cool. I had a great time with it, and I did not die.
Times.
That helped.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Dan is now taking care of Castling Crusades on Foundry for Trollord. So if you guys want to work with him, I can put you in touch, or I don't know if you guys are in touch with him already.
Yeah,
but
no, we can get a hold of Dan. No, that's
yeah,
awesome.
okay. But yeah,
we are. Yeah.
So
I didn't know he was doing that.
He's definitely doing that. Yeah. So he can definitely help you guys out.
Our game master Rich, who ran the game at CNY, he built that whole adventure and all the graphics.
Yeah,
he took some canned stuff, but a lot of it he changed and he made the whole adventure himself. It was real impressive when we were doing some play testing early in the game. It was very impressive what he could do. So
cool.
Rich is really good at that. So that was really a lot of fun to do that. But yeah, that gave you a little taste of ABA with that game. Some of the things. And again, the D20 ascending armor class, the hit points, the static hit points, whatever you get at first level, that's what you have. It just, a lot of those concepts the CF system for combat, where it's segmented. It's really cool stuff. And just real quick, when we're building ABA, we wanted to introduce a few new things, but we didn't want to go into left field, and we didn't want to lose what Arduin was. Like, we didn't want to sterilize Arduin. We didn't want to all of a sudden rip it apart. Like some other game systems, when they get redone, they're completely, the best way I can say is sterilized. And that's not going to happen with Arduin. We're not going to do that. Yeah. We're not going to lose the essence and what what Arduin was. So.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and I can't wait, to see it and see how that comes out, and see more play tests of it, and hopefully we see it again at CNY next year.
Yep.
And it's going to be great. We've also got CNY Game Day coming up. That's going to be December 12th. That's just one day. No vendors, so I can't give you guys any space, but there'll be gaming tables if you guys want to run a game all day. I'm fine with that. It's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's just a one-day thing on a Saturday. Like, it's no vendors, no special guests. It's just going to be hanging out.
Can I get 30 feet of table space?
if you're gonna run a game that requires 30 feet of table space and you're gonna run for like 15 people, yes, absolutely, you can have 30 feet of table space.
You're not gonna believe this, Roger. He actually has a game that would require that much table space.
Listen, Dave, if it's Battle for North Africa, there's not enough hours in the day for that.
Actually, I already know the game Dave is going to want to do. Dave has a game, Operation Market Garden.
Oh, my God.
And it's literally 22 feet of map. You go with 30 core, and then you have Arnhem and all the paradrops.
Yeah. We got 12 hours. Can you run it in 12 hours?
Probably not.
I am down for this.
Yeah.
It is Stephanie's birthday, but I will ask her if I can come play.
Oh, my God.
And that Battle for Africa, I saw that box for sale at Page the first year, and I'm still kicking myself for not buying it. I'll never play it, but to have that legend on my shelf would be very, very cool.
You can't. There's even if you look at the instruction manual for the book, when you get to the end of the first turn, it congratulates you for getting that far. It's like, that's how, it's so ridiculous. So
Yeah.
you look up like the play, it's like 12,000 hours or whatever of play. I mean, you have to play that thing every day for the rest of your life. I mean, just to get through it. It's not. I think it would take longer to play the game than the actual
campaign and effort.
The actual campaign took. Like that's
you would go years
crazy.
over the whole North Africa campaign.
It's
That's
crazy.
unbelievable.
There's a link to game day, but like I said, it's not. I know it's a little far. People are coming. Dan is coming. It's his mother's birthday. Dan's coming in from Chicago. We're gonna hang out all day. I'm gonna, there'll be games up on the schedule and all of that. So if you guys want to come, obviously, let me know. Bring Arduin out. Run some Arduin games if you want. I know it's a little bit of a haul, for a day, but just come and hang out and game, if you guys want. We're trying to get Stan to come down. He's even considering it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if the weather isn't awful, I will. Yeah. I'll be there.
But yeah.
No,
yeah,
I
know.
Fun to come play, and just enjoy.
So we got a couple of giveaways. So I've got a couple of these maps, and you guys, I'll let you guys say what this map is, because I don't know. This was the extra map, right, that came in with the Kickstarter.
Yeah, the Corinth map, correct. That's the island. It's basically in the bottom right corner of the continent map.
Corinth
it's the blown out map for the island. So
and
that looked like the first printing.
And so I've got two sets. You get a map, and we've got the cards, and this is the card set that you guys played the game with, right, at CNY. Yep. And this has all the cards in it, and it has the rules and everything in it, right?
Yes.
For using them. So this is a complete, a complete kind of game in itself. You can
correct. You got the characters and the rules. I mean, you'd have to do your own adventure, but
right. But characters and rules and stuff, all in a pack. So we got a giveaway. So we'll do two sets of these. So somebody will get, two people will get the card set and the map. So that's going to be, I believe, the keyword is !wheel, because we got a wheel because we're cool. So it's !wheel. So everybody everybody that wants in, put !wheel in the chat, and we'll do those giveaways there. In a little bit. We'll see what comes up. We'll give it a couple minutes here.
Oh, absolutely.
So so that's fantastic. Like, I mean, I can't wait to see, what comes out of, Emperor's Choice, basically. But I mean, with Arduin or if anything else comes up, I think, I think whatever it is, it's going to be amazing, and we can't wait to see all the stuff. I know the maps and everything that you guys produce. I know they're amazing just by the way that Jason looks at them. Like, that's my tell about because I've seen him look at maps and just and walk away from them. And then I've seen him walk up to maps and go, and he, it's true. It's true. That
was my first
he did that with the
Arduin
maps.
Yep.
Yeah, right. And so that's just, amazing. So that's like I don't even have to look at maps anymore. I just watch how Jason looks at a map, and okay, this is worth it.
That tells you, that's awesome. No, like I said, we're just going to keep pouring into it. Everything we got, and again, we always look at it, and if it's going to take us a little more time to make something better, we're going to take the extra time to make it better. We feel quality means something, attention to detail and quality means something. So
it worked. Cooperative Waffles, you're on the list. You're on the list. So
Roger, I sent you a picture on Discord of
a
new
miniature. I'm sorry.
If you want to post it, I just sent it.
A new miniature.
Oh, I was going to ask.
Miniature.
I didn't put it up on the site yet, but
Is that
if you wanted to
a
preview it.
yeah, let me
He's a big boy.
I know which
let
one
me
that is.
see how
Oh, if you can't, that's
I
okay.
can do this. No. This is fine. This is fine. This is gonna work fantastically. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna hit share, and we're gonna see what happens. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Is that,
It's here. Yeah.
All right. So if I come back here, hey, there it is. Look at that. That's a mini. So how tall is this guy?
He is, man, he's bigger. He's probably about 38 mil.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah,
he's
he's
like a
40.
large size creature. or
Yeah,
whatever.
so he's a engineered black frame. We have
Okay.
another black frame,
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is a different one.
Yeah. This is our new black frame. And to give it, where is it? To give you a concept, I'd have to show it on.
All right. Hang on. Let me stop sharing,
Yeah.
and then I will
This
embiggenate
is a hard
you,
one to.
George. How's that?
Whoa.
Well,
Can we do that?
yeah. That miniature was based off of this.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's our black frame, which are a genetically engineered frame, and they're part of the Horoku Empire, which is a space faring empire. So they're kind of a high tech creature that's been engineered to battle, to be able to do, zero space, zero gravity combat, and all that type of stuff. So
I like how you're Angeloing the book there.
yeah, do you like that?
Angeloing the book. So
Yeah.
I'm coining that term. I'm gonna make that term the term Angeloing.
Angela in the book, but that's our new black frame, and they are big.
Yeah.
So they are scaled to size. He's a big boy. We tried to keep him one piece. He does come with a sword, and he has basically the machine gun or the laser pistol in his hand. So
That's
he is
cool.
a big boy. And again, we just started cranking a few of those out, and we're gonna put it on the website probably soon within the week.
nice.
Yeah. So he's a new
I
one.
got the other ones. I haven't
Yeah.
painted them yet, but I have the other ones.
Yeah, the
All
other
right.
black frame has like the heavy laser. He's smaller.
Yep.
So, but this one is like genetically larger, and they're generally larger. He's a little bit larger than the new frame. So, size wise, he's a little beefier, has some more bulk to him, but that's how they're supposed to be.
Nice.
So,
All right. Last chance to get an exclamation point wheel. Last chance. We'll give that another minute. And then I'll put all these names in the pool there. But yeah, no, that's cool. And that mini that's going to be available soon.
Yeah, as soon as I put it on the website.
yep.
Okay,
Ready
so
to
we're
go.
just waiting on you. Waiting on
Yep.
you, Dave.
Yeah, there's a pile of them ready to go. It's just didn't make
Yeah.
the spot.
Yeah. Well, truthfully, Dave had to
Fantastic.
put all the paints up there, and each one was an individual thing that we had to create.
Oh boy.
Paint. So that was hundreds and hundreds of new. It's like, oh my god.
I like how it's Dave had to do this and Dave has to do this. And
Stop, Roger.
Mm.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I do a lot here. Geez, give me a break.
I know you do. I know.
know.
You do. You're fantastic.
It's like, yeah, you'll
You're
get
the
somebody
front man.
going, and you'll start saying, "Do something." That's
You're
her
the-
favorite
you're the-
thing. George, do something. I'm like,
You're the front man. You're the front
Yeah.
man for this whole
Yeah.
operation. No. It's it's great.
we-
It's
we-
cool stuff.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Do
Oh
something,
my
George.
God.
Thanks, Vince.
Oh man.
But
I'm
Dave
not
and
the
I,
back
that's
door guy.
yeah, Dave and I, that's how we work things. He'll take care of certain things. I'll take care of others. We'll coordinate when we
Yeah.
have to on a lot. Like I'm pushing ABA. That's what I do. That's where my main thrust is to work on. And then we'll work together. He does molds. I do the casting, so, and then we both pack orders and both, try to do stuff. I'll hop on the website at times and take care of back end, but Dave will hit a lot of the front end stuff. So, but it works. It's just teamwork on everything. So,
And for the record, our website really wasn't broken all those times before. It was the damn server we were on.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
it was horrible. The service we had, we can't believe it. Thank God we changed everything because now the site works really well and it's good on mobile too, which we're happy. So
we got, like I said, I got 2 sets here of the cards and the map, right? So card and a map and a card and a map. So I'm going to spin the wheel twice for that. I'll put it on the screen, spin the wheel twice, and then if a duplicate name comes up, we'll do it again. So it's the same person not getting it twice. And then we'll do the box if you guys want to do that.
yeah, we're gonna do a box set, the new Harbinger box.
Yeah,
Harbinger box set. We're gonna give one
Harbinger
away
box set.
for free. So
That's going to be fantastic. Let me make sure that nobody else is in here. Okay. So nobody else is there. So let me see. I need to come over here and I need to share the wheel of names. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Let's see if this works.
Spinning, if that counts.
Is that can you guys see that? Is that
yeah.
is that legible? Can we see who the names and stuff on there?
Yep.
So that's what we got. So we got Jimison, Dan the Final Arbiter, Cooperative Waffles, Savage Splendor, Edgelord, Faux Q, and Robert Santon. So I'm gonna spin this, and we're gonna see who's gonna get the first set here. Oh, that's a fixed spin if I ever seen one. Oh, I mean, congratulations. Congratulations, Dan.
Yeah, I smell a setup here.
Congratulations, Dan. So Dan is gonna get his first set. So I'm gonna write that down. Dan.
So I'm gonna drop from the show when you do the box set so that I can add my name to the wheel.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
You,
There you go. You got you. I mean,
you can add it in. No, that's fine.
all right. And so you guys can still see the wheel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Edgelord is
Still
right.
there. Okay. And I'm gonna hit this again, and we're gonna see for the second card set and map. Oh my God. Guys. Okay.
The fix is in.
We're busted.
Oh my God. All right, we'll try this again.
Yeah.
Can't you just take his name out of the spin?
Cooperative Waffle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could have just taken his name out of the spin, but I didn't. Okay, so that is that. And then you guys are going to do a Harbinger box set. Now, is that available now, or is that those are coming yet, right?
Yeah, those will be coming.
So they'll get that. We'll get the information and stuff to you, and then they'll get that when they drop.
Correct. Yeah. And Roger, if you want, why don't you have them, whatever, everybody you already got in there, you can do the spin. And then Dave, we have a copy here. We can show off the box set and what you get and the extras that come with it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You want me? Dan says we can redo the one that he won. Are you sure, Dan? You got a set of the cards and stuff already?
Yeah.
Oh, Dan's already got a set of the cards.
Yeah, he does. So
Dan. Okay.
He
All
was
right. So
there.
we're gonna pull. There. Now his name's off, right? All right. So we're gonna spin this again. This is for a card and map set. Let's see what we got. Oh, so close. Robert Santon. So send me get a hold of me somehow. I don't know if we're if we're friends on Facebook or Discord or any of that stuff, but just get a hold of me. You can get a hold of me on Discord. I'm Judge Roger. you can find me there, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, let me know in the chat where we're at. And waffles, same thing.
Yeah.
Just let me
Congratulations
know.
to Waffle and Robert. That's awesome.
Yep. And and then we're gonna do a box set, and then you'll show off afterwards. Let's do the spin.
Yeah. You go ahead, do the spin.
We'll do the spin. So this is for the box set. This is probably continental United States only.
Oh,
It don't matter.
no, it don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
To us.
You'll send it.
We'll
You'll
send it
anywhere?
wherever. We don't
you
care.
say that until somebody from Australia wins it or something.
We've done
That's
it.
fine.
We've
All right.
done it in Japan before, Roger. It doesn't matter to us.
We
All
ship
right.
there.
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
Is everybody in?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the French seal.
The French seal.
Thank you. So we'll need all his info.
Yeah. So just get a hold of me on Discord if you can. And if not, let us know in the chat, whether you can't do that or if you need to use another way, and I'll put an email or something out there.
Figure on end of September, maybe sooner.
Yeah.
So
Give or take. Yeah. We're looking at probably early September, give or take, as long as everything gets here on time. So,
yeah.
Well, congratulations to everybody there. That's cool.
Yeah, congrats. All right, so I got Robert Santon. I got him. So we'll wait on everybody else, and hopefully that'll all go through. All right, so I gotta see. Can I get back to here? Oh boy, maybe not. Okay, so hopefully that'll load for me, and everything will be fantastic. So yeah, okay. So I got Robert Santon's information.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's fantastic. So that'll be sometime September.
Yeah.
That stuff is shipping, and you guys still have. Is there still a deal going on? It's on sale right now.
Yeah. Right.
For anybody.
Yeah. It's
Right.
$65 for the box set. And we give the two freebies are the new card set, the pocket rules, and the 72 card set from before with the 5 character sheets for the portal. So that's going to be on sale, and the sale is going on. It started in July. It's going to go to the end of the year, and that basically $65 for $130 worth of product between the box set and the 2 free add-ons. And then what we also did, Roger, we sent an email, and there's going to be another one coming out to all the Kickstarter. If you backed the Kickstarter before, we gave you even a bigger discount on the box set because we wanted to take care of everybody because, again, we've talked about this before. Because of our prior commitments and unforeseen circumstances, we created this box set, which is going to be the final resting spot for the books 1 through 3. This is it. We're not going to do it again. So
it was going to come out anyway.
Yeah, well, it's
Not
a final format. It just wasn't going to come out like this. So we wanted to get something special for the Kickstarter people and make it exceedingly cheap for them to get a copy of this. And it's a cool item.
Not cheap.
Yeah, cost effective. Yeah. If I want to say it, okay, properly say it.
Yeah.
But we feel that should take care of the Kickstarter people who, backed the Kickstarter earlier in the year or last year. My God, with something very, like I said, very cost effective, and it gives you a backup copy, and it's really cool. It's a little bit bigger of a size, a 6x9, and the box is really nice. and we put some extra little features in there with the primer and the critical hit chart on a card stock. So we kind of added a couple things, and there's 2 cards from Hargrave's collection, and we put those in 3x5, so they're the same size as the pocket rolls. But Dave has one of the few sets there that we still have available. We got a couple production copies, a few here, so that we'd have some in our hand. But that's what we're doing. We're having the sale, which is a big thing. And again, it gives an opportunity for people, especially if they haven't gotten the books before, to get a cool box set for the Arduin books. So
Well, here it is.
Yeah. And you Dave, I'll make you full screen there if you want to show that off.
Sure.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we put little cutouts for the fingers, to open the box.
Yeah. All right. So I've got the seals info. So I'm just waiting on Cooperative Waffles, I believe. Yeah. And is that, Dave, in comparison to the box set that you had in the Kickstarter?
Yep.
Is that a little bit bigger? It looks like it's a little bit bigger.
The internal box of the Kickstarter, where there were 2?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
it's
the portable
definitely
adventure
bigger. That
but
box
the
will
Arduin.
fit inside this box, I believe.
Yeah, it'd
Okay.
be
It's probably close.
It's
Yeah.
close, but it's definitely bigger.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Okay.
thicker too.
Yeah. It looks it. And this has,
These are
This
3
says-
by
okay, those are 3x5, right?
cards,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
it's about
And-
3 inches.
And so this has all 3 core books,
Yep.
right? And what modules, is it the same as the stuff that came with?
No, we're never reprinting that module, so that's over with. But it comes with the original Aero Lotus book. We added page numbers at the bottom.
Yeah, page numbers are great to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the old ones have them, but they're at the top, and they were all handwritten. Comes with this one, just like the limited edition did.
Correct. It's just a bigger book. It's a 6x9 size, so it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it's slightly larger. It's got the book 2, the Welcome the Skull Tower. Then it's got the book 3, the Ruins of Doom.
Cool.
And there's a couple extra
We
pictures.
added at the back just
Oh yeah.
an
Nice.
ode to Hargrave.
Yep.
And a little picture of his original map.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And then we added the rare Arduin primer just for historical purposes.
Yep. Okay.
And that was
This
the
isn't a cheap scan. This is all hand typed.
Cool.
Then, just a couple character sheets like the limited edition had. Then we threw the critical hit table in there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Double-sided.
Yeah. And we had some good renditions of the Earl Otis artwork there.
Then we added a couple of Hargrave original cards.
Oh, nice. Oh, you even left the handwritten.
Yeah, it was a tough decision whether to do it or not. And
No, that's
thinking
cool.
about doing it for more. We're not sure yet.
I think. I mean, so long as they're legible enough. I mean, I think it's neat, especially doing it in color like that. It really
It's a nice
looks like
historical
he handwrote it. Yeah.
document.
I mean, I can see some people saying, "Oh boy, what do you?"
Yeah.
But I think it's cool.
Yeah, most of the feedback we got was that people like it. It even has Dave Hargrave's initials and a date, so you can see when it was created.
Yeah.
We were really hard pressed. Like, do we reformat it? And then we're like, no, let's just go with the original. This one is from Origins, 1981.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. So figured give everybody a little taste, put a couple little extras in there.
And those cards there, those two I just showed you, are the same size as the ones in here.
Yeah, the 3x5.
3x5. Yep.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool stuff. Thanks for that, Dave.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that looks awesome. Can't wait. So that's cool stuff. Yeah. Even Dan says he loves that you guys preserve the handwriting. I kind of like that, something historical like that. It's neat.
Do you guys like that, Jason and Stan? What do you think? We were back and forth because we're like, do we reformat it or raw as is? You're getting everything.
It's great.
I think, like, from my perspective, like, I look at Arduin's, like, I have it because it's like gaming history. Mm-hmm. So to have that actual handwriting in there is just extra icing on the cake of that effect. I think that's really cool. I mean, a worst case scenario, like, you could provide a sheet with just a typed if they're not that legible or whatever, you could always put a sheet in there and say, hey, this is what they are, but we wanted to preserve this because this is from Hargrave, and we wanted to make sure that was included. I think it's really cool.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thanks.
Good. Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Like I said, we weren't sure whether to do it or not.
No, I think that box set. Look, my son is the one that actually did the Kickstarter. He got it for me, the big box for Christmas. So he's doing that one too. So
cool.
We're looking forward to having both of them in the house.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So can't wait to and I think it looks really nice. I like the the black background on the box. I like
that box looks awesome.
I don't know if you did that to like contrast, the wood grain or like the old white box or whatever. But
no, we'd actually been talking about doing the black box for quite a few years.
Yeah, we always wanted to do a black box. We felt it was appropriate for Arduin. If D&D had the white box, Arduin should have the black box. The black sheep of the industry.
The black sheep box,
But we kept the books with that parchment-like cover, so
that
was the compromise.
Yeah. And like I said, it's our final landing spot for it, and it's like, okay, that's it. That's the format it's going to be in from now on, and we're done. So and like I said, so far so good, and like I said, we're going to send out another email to all the Kickstarter people, and we've gotten some real good responses. A lot of new people jumping on it too, which is nice. So really good. So we're really happy where that's going, and we just want to keep moving forward with everything. And I wanted to say one thing, Roger, too.
Sure.
Because I know we talked about it, that the primer that's in there. The primer came out in '84. I have one of the original ones here of the primer. Came out, and this was the predecessor to Complete Arduin, which is this one. This is Arduin 2, the one that came out in '92. And the reason I wanted to bring it up when you talked about Arduin, we talk about the influence of Arduin. This is where we discovered, we were looking at it, that
hang on, let me make you big.
Okay.
And this is what year?
1984.
1984 this is.
Yep. And this was the primer for when the new system was going to come out. And what you'll notice on there, you see the old AC and then the new armor value. You'll notice, look, armor class 2 is 26 in the new armor value. So we can see where Hargrave, believe it or not, what's that? That's ascending armor class.
The numbers going up instead of down.
Exactly.
And this is in 80,
84.
84. And
84.
that's so 84. We're
Correct.
still in second edition. Well, second edition didn't even come out.
Correct.
Right? Second edition was 89.
But that there
I
is the
believe-
battle factor system I was referring to earlier.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we know they were using way before that even.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
just to get you a taste of where they were going at one point.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
second
Yeah,
edition was
second edition,
a little
89.
after, was mid 80s, wasn't it? Because you had
80
first. Yeah.
Well, I thought 89,
It
but I
says
mean I could be.
89.
No, you're right. Yeah, 89. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of first edition advanced first edition.
Yeah, AD&D first edition was 70, 78, 79.
Yeah.
They came out then. But
Correct.
or 77.
yeah.
But yeah, was the first book. But yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really
It's interesting to see some of the concepts that he
ascending
had,
armor class, yeah.
the ascending armor class and everything. And we even discovered in Complete Arduin, he used a thing called expeditions for experience. And basically it was, advancement is measured in terms of time passed or an expeditions run. And we're like, holy cow, he was hitting on the milestone thing, which didn't come into being until 2000 in third edition. So he even had that. So I just wanted to bring those up, Roger, to show. And we know about the crits fumbles. He was the first. Mana, there was a ton of concepts that he did prior to others doing it, mixing all the genres of role play in there.
Yeah, and I think you can confidently say that even if you look at the dates, and say, okay, you look at Metamorphosis Alpha was 76, right? So technically Arduin didn't get published until after that, right? So
Correct.
I mean, but you could so this it's iffy there, even if it was being played like published date is
correct.
It's not like the actual thing, but that's kind of what we have to go on, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I mean, we say Dungeons and Dragons was 1974, but really we know that those guys were developing it before that, right? I mean, obviously before it was published the first time it was out, so it's kind of hard to judge that, but we could, I think, say for certain that Arduin was the first one to cross genres.
Yeah.
And even Hargrave, called Multiversal. He had the Multiversal Trading Company, and then that's what he named he had a game store or shop or something, right? That was called that.
Yep.
So I think for sure you could say, hey, this is the first kind of multiversal, game that was, cross genre.
Correct.
It's out there, which is awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of firsts with Arduin, which is really cool. And you could see where it's influenced, the industry, all the big names, Jonathan Tweet called it the coolest RPG book ever made. So they influenced third edition, fourth edition with Robert Heinzko. Monty Cook is a big fan of Arduin. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's like, holy cow, the influence,
and there's, looking through it too, there's a lot of stuff that you look at, you read it now and you think, okay, that's something that you'd see in an RPG. But if you look at it through the lens of this was in the mid 70s, like before, all these other games came out, like it's just amazing the stuff like, and it's little things, and I can't think of all of them, but I remember reading through it. I know like he's got the, it's like a merchant class, I think, or something in there with a trader, and the trader gains so much XP based on like how much profit he's making and like how of goods and stuff that he's selling. And that seems like now it's like, oh, okay, yeah, the characters should get XP for doing the thing that they do, right? But but back then, like I don't think that was as prominent in the games. It was like, okay, you gain XP for for getting gold or for slaying the monsters or whatever, and that was kind of the the thing. There wasn't all this stuff of, oh yeah, like a merchant should be able to get XP for doing merchant things, or this class should get this because this is what it does. Maybe there was some of that. I don't know, but it's interesting looking at all of that stuff.
You see all the concepts, and I know you guys had the books, even the stuff like this where he talks about experience points and doing different things.
Yeah, let me make that bigger there for you.
Yeah,
right. Getting different XP for different things. Yeah,
we incorporated that pretty quick.
Yeah. And this is right in the first couple pages of volume 1. So you could just see there where he just was at a different level and thought outside the box, and what about this? I've said it before where Hargrave never said no, he said why not? You want to play a Vietnam vet with a machine gun, go for it. I'll fit it in. He has gunnery charts in the game. It's easy to look at it now and go, well, okay, this has been done, but 40 years ago, back in 1977, that wasn't being done like that. They weren't mixing everything and having all these different concepts. So you got to really look at the time frame of when this were done. But it is interesting to connect all the dots to all the influence. And another thing we're going to do for ABA, and I think all of you guys have it in the Arduin Adventure because you have it from the Kickstarter, the Arduin Adventure book. You do know Arduin has its own Appendix N. In the Arduin Adventure, there's a bibliography. There's a 2-pager, page 62, 63. This is the Arduin version of the Appendix. Yeah, I wanted to point that out. The Arduin has its own. He has different books and things, and they're interesting. And he even gives a personal thanks, to Clark Ashton Smith, with the Zothi series. He thanks Elf Quest, of all things.
Oh, wow.
The entire groups of Token and Marvel Comics, an unlikely but valuable source of inspiration. So what I wanted to see is Arduin has its own version. He had his own version of an Appendix N for Arduin in the Arduin Adventure. So
that's interesting. Yeah.
Edgelord
Edgelord says he wants to give a shout out to Shadow. Shadow, I know Shadow and Son on YouTube. I know he's definitely been the town crier, the Arduin town crier, as Edgelord puts it. He's fantastic. I know I see him whenever he's streaming. He's got his Arduin mug there all the time. He's always talking great stuff about Arduin, and it's his son, right, Jackie, that did the all the flags on the map, right, or all or some of them, or all of them, or all of the flags, all around the edge there for all the different factions and stuff, right?
Well, all the maps, all the one there. Geez, where am I going? Here, all these, all those.
That's cool.
That's cool. Did a great job. No, Shadow's been a real.
He's fantastic. We got to get him to come to CNY. I know he's in California, right? And he's got a thing like I do for planes, so he's gonna have to take a train. But after listening to Jason talk about trains, that's put a lot of people off.
All I'm saying is before you board, check to make sure the toilet's working.
Man.
I say that because I was watching Paul. Paul was on a stream last night, and I was watching him, and I said some things in the chat, and he plugged CNY. I was like, CNY, it's great. Some pictures of. He's like, I was gonna go, but I heard, Jason told the story about the toilet on a train.
No.
But now
we'll
he's getting a ride. He's getting a ride with Dan. I think this time he's talking to Dan about possibly getting a ride out. So
Okay.
We'll see. But Shadow, I don't know. We're gonna have to give him one of the B.A. Baracus hamburgers.
Quick injection of something.
Yep.
And get him on a
Exactly.
plane or something. I don't know. No,
We'll
I
get
mean,
him.
it'd be really cool to get him out.
Yeah.
He's on the other side of the country. I know it's rough,
Yeah.
But yeah, Cooperative Waffles says to take the go into Canada and take the train. I hear that train is absolutely gorgeous. The one that goes through in entirety. I forget what they call it there. Some I knew a guy that took it, took the whole thing. And I actually let him borrow some card games and stuff to play while he was on the train. But he took that. He said it was really gorgeous. Train.
Really? Nothing like the Amtrak's here.
Across.
Basic
Yeah, he said it was
Greyhound.
great. It was all like snowy and everything. And he says the landscape and everything that you could see is just gorgeous. He's like the whole ride is all like wilderness and all that stuff. And
Oh, very good.
So it's really, really cool. But yeah.
Well, no,
But,
that's
he-
awesome.
He's a retired engineer from Carrier, so he could afford that kind of stuff. But I'm sure it was a pretty penny for him and his wife to take, cross country and then back again. But
Sounds cool.
Cool.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
money
and thank
well
you,
spent.
Cooperative. Yeah, like, share,
Awesome.
subscribe, hit the bell, whatever, But yeah, good times. Wow, I don't know. What do you guys have anything that you guys are dying to know about Arduin or want to know about the history here? You got any questions for these guys or where they're going or?
No, man, I've just been listening.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
We actually
we
got
can't
Dave
wait.
to talk a little tonight, so that was good.
We got Dave talking. Yeah.
She
So
got
they-
me with the new black Frank model, so I was like, oh, all right, I like it.
Yeah. There you go.
I got a whole box
he's ready.
full of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So-
we're excited with the paints and everything too. We'll have more miniatures. Oh, that's freaking
Oh, yeah.
awesome, man. That's
That's what I was about to say. Stan always posts his finished models in the group chat that we all have. And I've been a fan of Stan's work for a couple of years now. But before I knew him as Stan, I was like, oh, you're CK Stan on Discord. I follow you all the time.
That's awesome.
And I don't
Oh,
know
nice.
what it is, but there is something about metal miniatures that no matter how good you are with plastic, metal just looks so much. It's absolutely incredible.
And
So
the
when
night,
you've got somebody really talented like Stan, it's just, man, just badass.
the nice thing too about these miniatures, I'll say, because I started with metal miniatures, and I have plastic. I have all sorts of mediums. Typically, metal miniatures can be a pain in the ass to assemble, not paint. And these miniatures are not. These are the easiest metal miniatures that I have found to assemble.
Awesome.
They are a no hassle miniature to assemble. And I'm not saying that because George and Dave are here. It's because it's true.
Yeah.
Like so I've been painting miniatures for 20 something years. Assembly and preparation, it's my least favorite part of it. I don't get any enjoyment out of it. But like these things have been great. Like at this guy here. This is actually ended up being the second one I've painted of this guy.
Jesus.
Oh, that's
Very
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, Bill was a master at those pegs.
Roger, can you make Stan
All
big? And Stan,
Oh,
can you
yeah,
show
yeah.
that? Can you show
Oh,
He
that?
did a great job. Like this
Stan,
is a great,
Stan, show that off there. Yeah.
it's a great miniature.
Oh, wow.
Just
Super
wild,
fun to
man.
paint.
Yeah.
Super fun to paint.
That's fantastic.
Drop it.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you could see that mini on Jay Scott has the first one of those that he painted.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
on his stream there. Yeah.
These
Cool.
guys, I mean,
Cool stuff.
there's no assembly with
Yep.
these. These were just a blast to paint. These are my son's. He doesn't even paint miniatures. I ended up painting them, but he bought
Great.
these.
Those are the
Yeah.
Vroats. Yeah.
The Vroats, yeah. And these guys are great too. we ended up, and if you get these, you should. If anybody out there is looking to get these things, you should get 3 of them because you can build them 3 different ways.
Yeah.
That's so incredible.
We got this guy here with the big long,
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
long
cool.
tongue. So you had the first one with just no tongue out. Whoop, I'll put it right here. That one with the super long tongue, and then you had this one with like a medium.
Midway. Yeah.
And what I did with these were fun because I actually looked up like poisonous, like jungle toads or whatever, and tried to. And my son sent me some pictures and stuff, so that's what we based these on.
The poison arrow frogs.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah.
How much
That's
drilling and pinning have you had to do with those, Stan?
So I'm actually trying to remember if I actually drilled and pinned the wings. I think I did. I actually did. So on this one here, on all of them, they fit so good, but I did put pins in the wings because these will be used on a table. They're not just sitting on a shelf. We've already used them in a game. And for like this one with and I think I might have done it with the medium one with the longer tongue. I pinned that just again because it's going to get used on a table, and if it gets bumped into, I wanted just a little bit extra support. But like I didn't have to do. Typically with metal miniatures, there's a lot of filling, and they're just very tedious. These things, I didn't do any filling like on the wings. They just slotted in. I just drilled it for the pin, and to give it a little bit more support. You probably could have gotten away with not doing it. They fit so well, very well. But this thing is awesome too. Like, I really like the thing. Jason said something earlier about when he played in the Arduin game about not knowing what everything is, and I love that stuff in my games. We're already pulling like Arduin creatures into our games and stuff, and just because they're so different. You put this on the table and you're going to have or unless they've played Arduin, you're going to have a group of guys be like, what the hell is that?
You know what you can do with that one too is you take those tentacle things and you can bend them.
You can bend those tentacle things.
Yeah.
Strong enough to
you
can
get
manipulate it.
Feel to it.
Yeah, what we've done, Stan, is we've moved them so that they're facing forward or back, and it gives the whole 3D.
Oh, that's very cool. And then what else we got? I got some cavemen. These guys. So on the market, these are the best like salamander style miniatures I have found. Everything else is way too small and that I found, and it looks like crap. These are awesome. I ended up buying 2 of these at CNY to paint up for my game. So I haven't used them yet, but I definitely will.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and I got a bunch more to come. I'm actually working on the ones that were done up, the characters there for CNY. I got those in the works right now.
Perfect.
And then I don't know what I'll do after that. Probably tackle some of the bigger stuff, like the gray horror or something like that. And mess around with that.
Yeah.
The gray
that
horror
is pretty cool.
Yeah, the gray horror is very cool. Wait till you get to that. That is
that one fits together pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already taken it out of the package and like dry fit it, and I mean it fit great. Like
that was
really impressive. Yeah. Like the way they're cast and molded, the fit is really good. I've had metal miniatures that were a total nightmare. You spent from really reputable companies, but man, they were a nightmare to put together. And so far, my experience, I've already painted. I mean, I have a dragon to paint. I've already painted it before. That thing went together so nicely. It was not a hassle at all. So
we used to have the dragon set up at the conventions without any glue.
Yeah.
We used to be proud of
stand
that.
on its own without glue.
Yep. Yeah. That one you really don't probably need to pin because the way it's set, the way it's cast with those slots for the legs and the wings, they're really well done. And again, like no gaps either. Like the big thing is like you get something together and then you have to go back over it, with like green stuff or whatever, milliput or some filler.
Yeah, right.
And
if I recall, the Gray Horror was the first mold I ever made.
Yeah,
and of course that was, I don't know, it's probably like 15 molds because there's 9 production.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces there.
Yeah.
There's a fair
And
amount,
I've
not a
got
lot,
some
but there's a
molds,
fair
and then
amount
there
of
was
pieces.
multiple master molds for it.
Yeah.
The shell piece on top stand for the gray horror. Dave, when he made that mold, he has screws that he put in because he had to build the rubber up for the inner of the shell when we're casting it. It was nuts.
Oh,
I mean, it was insane, the mold. One of these times we'll have to show a mold one of these times online
Yeah.
to show you guys.
yeah,
But yeah,
they're good stuff. They're really good, and they're super fun to paint. And I'm looking forward to painting more of them.
awesome.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That's great.
That's cool. Stan, do you use a lot of like milliput or green stuff?
I
For-
try
for
not to
minis,
if I don't
or-
have to, but sometimes you have to, you know. But I not a lot. I mean, miniatures. I don't. I mean, probably outside of a couple companies, Emperor's Choice, Dark Sword Miniatures, which they only do. Well, they do some resin now, but they have mostly metal miniatures. I don't need to do it as much because the plastic ones, they just the way they cut them and stuff, they typically don't need a lot of it. I usually find it with older metal miniatures is where you need the most filler, or sometimes you can get some really horrible resin cast stuff. Like Forge World is horrific
Yeah.
for that stuff, but.
I ask because you know, in the past, I've used so you know, I'm in HVAC by trade, right? So there's a company, Hercules. They make chemicals and different types of stuff, but they have a thing called Propoxy, and it's like, I know you can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's probably, and it's like $10 for like a tube, and it's like a 2-part, you know, epoxy. It's gray, and you just, you know, you cut off a piece, just like, you know, and you knead it together, and then it hardens in like whatever 20 minutes, half hour, or something like that. But it's used for like, you know, you patch holes in pipes or like fixing a leak or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
something like that. But it hardens, like, you know, it hardens.
it's like a
You know, as
almost
if
like
it
a
was.
JB Weld type thing.
Yeah, it's almost like a JB Weld or something like that. I mean, I've used that too, but for things. But for some metal minis, I mean, I used to use this stuff, Propi, and it's like I said, it's like $10-12 for like a 4-ounce tube.
Yeah,
Which I don't know how that compares to the price of.
it's probably
know.
cheaper.
Yeah, right. I'm just wondering,
'Cause-
but I just to throw it out there, if you ever see it, check it. You know what I mean? Check it out. And,
Yeah, probably
try it,
the
let me know.
one I use the most if I'm not using like green stuff is it's for small stuff, you know, small
Mhm.
spaces. Vallejo makes one that's in a tube and you just squeeze it out and you fill the gap and you wipe it down with, like, you know, a tool or even your thumb sometimes, you know, wet, and get the excess off. And it dries, you know, pretty quickly, and you can use that. It's pretty simple. Bigger stuff, you know, you probably
Yeah.
should have something more substantial than that. But for little small things, it beats the hell out of using like green stuff, because you got to green stuff. If you're not familiar, is basically you get a strip and it's yellow and blue, and you got to cut it
Yep.
and then twist and twist and twist until it becomes green. It's just time consuming, you know.
Yeah.
And,
And the Propoxy
Everything
stuff that
else.
I'm talking about is similar. I mean, you basically, you know, you cut off a bit of it, and there's like a black and a gray part,
Yeah.
and you knead it together, you know, like Play-Doh. You play with it, you know, until it's like all one
It's-
color, and
I
then
mean,
it'll harden. You know, it hardens like
Yeah.
stone. I mean, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's
It's probably very similar to green stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds like it
Yeah.
is. It's just not green. It's, you know,
Yeah.
different. And then nobody
and
cares.
you like. I mean, if you get a leak on a pipe or something, you know, you need that stuff up, and you can like push it over it and mold it over it. And I mean, that's how I've used it, right? But like,
Yep.
then
Yeah,
having it, you know, I end up using it. Oh,
Well,
let
it's
me
like-
use this stuff to fill in gaps.
You know, there's probably, like I said, it's probably very similar to green stuff, and they use that, and then, you know, just game companies that, you know, sell green stuff. They're you know, they get to charge more because it's green
Yeah,
stuff. You know?
Right? Yeah, it's like buying buying gravel or whatever from a model
Oh my-
train store.
Oh my
I'm sure
god.
Jason's bought gravel
Well-
or something from a model train store or something. You can
So
you can go to,
gravel's
like, a
one
fish-
thing, but
you
like
go to a fish store or what,
Right.
whatever, and
Oh, you-
probably buy a 10
Here's
pound
an
bag
idea.
for the same price.
here's an idea: go outside.
Or or no, go outside. Wait, whoa, Stan, we're gamers here. We're
Hold on.
we
So
go outside.
let me go on this rant first, and then I'll talk about that a little bit while we have a little bit. So I do that. Like I go outside, and then if I want, what I'll do is I'll go to like a gravel pit, and I'll just scoop up a tub full of sand, and then I end up sifting it, and I get different grades, right? Like so I get it that way. Doesn't cost me anything but a few minutes of time. So on the internet, there's this whole thing about like if you use outside material, like I have stuff that I've built. I've used like bark for like stone.
You're gonna say put it in the oven?
Oh my god! So these people think you got to bake that stuff
Sterilize
at
it.
9,000 degrees
You got to
because
sterilize
some
it. Stan. You gotta
black mold
sterilize it.
fungus is going to come out of the depths of
outside-
hell and
The
consume you.
outside,
total
might get
nonsense.
inside, Stan.
Oh
We
my
can't
god! I
have
know.
that.
Like a very good friend of mine that I game with, it also paints miniatures and stuff. He does the same thing, but he's also works like in the forestry service, and he's like, all that stuff. If it's there, it's already there. Like it's not like it's suddenly being created. And if it gets through glue and paint and prime, all that stuff, I deserve whatever happens. But I can tell you, in 20 years, nothing's ever happened. It's a giant waste of time.
Yeah.
Also, if you're looking to get like stuff, you mentioned the model train stores. Model train stores are actually a really good deal for certain things. Like, I can buy a 32-ounce shaker of like flocking for
Oh yeah.
$10 to $15, right?
Yes.
That's a ton. And then I go
I
and
agree.
buy,
Yeah.
Games Workshop, Army Paint, any of those places, and they sell it. You're
Yeah.
paying the same price for a
It's the same
fraction
price.
of material.
It's a little.
You get
thing of it. Yeah.
Nothing. So go get on Amazon or Woodland Scenics and buy these big shakers. And if you're not building terrain, one of those things will last you a very, very long time on miniatures. Like I go through a lot of it because I also build terrain. So, but still, if I use like more of the name brand stuff, oh my god, I'd be poor and I'd go through a ton of it. It's just not.
Yeah.
It would just not be economically feasible, So, but yeah, that's my rant about that stuff. God, that drives me nuts. I
Yeah.
got bacon 9,000 degrees. No, I don't.
No, I've seen that stuff.
No,
I
you
think
absolutely
Stan and
never.
I were talking about this one time. Like there are companies that sell sticks in a bag, and
Yeah, I've seen
it's
it.
literally went
It's
outside,
outside,
snapped
you
some
nerds.
sticks up, and sold it. Just
Come
and people are
on.
buying it,
Yeah,
What,
there's a blister pack you can get of twigs,
right?
and I'm
Dan,
like,
It's to scale logs.
yeah,
Dan
Why?
wants to know about primer. Stan, I'll let you take this, but really quick, I just want to say that I used to use a rattle can. I used to use just like Krylon, primer or whatever, and just do a light coat of it, and it works fine. I have since shifted over to a cheap airbrush, and using airbrush primer, and now I can prime, indoors. There's a little bit more of a setup to it, but like I feel like I can't prime in winter or whatever. Like you need a sunny day, and like it's just a pain to like wait
Yeah,
for
so-
that temperature and everything to be great. So
I do the same, like in the wintertime, and even actually year round sometimes, depends on what I'm doing. I have like airbrush. I do have an airbrush, I just don't use it. I use airbrush primer, I just brush it on with a brush. And-
blasphemy.
Or
You
I just go to the hardware store and buy like black primer. There's one that's, I don't remember the brand. I use it all the time. I should remember it, but yeah, because you can go. The only time I'll use like a miniature company primer is if I have to do either like a ton of miniatures that like I'm painting maybe like a bunch of Warhammer 40K Ultramarines. I will go and buy Ultramarine Blue and prime them in that because it's going to make that process a lot faster. Otherwise, I'm not paying $20 or more for a can of primer.
The correct answer is you should always use the brand new Emperor's Choice line of ammo primers.
Yes.
Well, now
Yes,
they have that, so use those.
absolutely.
Thanks, Jason. But it's all right.
That's good. Savage Plenary. I missed the model train / gun shop across from that was TNT Hobbies or something. I forget what it was. Yeah, that was.
It was a model train store and
awesome
gun store.
place. It was a model train and gun store. So the guy that
So
owned it,
one-stop
That's
shop
awesome.
for me.
the guy that owned it
Sandwiches.
had a gun store downstairs, and upstairs was a hobby shop. And it was like his buddy or whatever, and they rented it out, and he had
That
things,
would be
and
incredible.
it was trains and guns.
Oh,
And
that's
it was
I don't see
awesome.
where you could go wrong with it.
It was-
Honestly,
it was
that's
awesome.
pretty mint.
And they ended up closing the place down. But they closed maybe it's probably been 10 years now. But yeah, that was a real cool place because you trains and guns. It's just amazing. It was so crazy. K&K. It was K&K Train and Hobbies or whatever. Trains and guns. Yeah,
That's
crazy.
That's awesome.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, it was awesome. Trains and guns. You buy model trains and guns, ammo and everything. Yeah, fun times.
Can't go
Dan, I
wrong
think
there.
Dan is asking because he ordered a bunch of miniatures. I think he said he was going to try his hand at painting for the first time, and he was going to try the Vroats stand.
Oh, they're great.
A solid piece.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those were
Yeah.
awesome. You don't even have to. I put them on just a bigger base, but that was it.
Yeah.
Is there a primer? Do you guys have a primer in the line that
Yeah,
you
we
guys
have
have?
6 colors.
Oh yeah, I wasn't kidding.
Oh,
Yeah,
there is.
there's
You put it on there.
there's half a dozen
There is,
primers in
okay.
there.
He wasn't
Yeah.
joking. I hadn't seen those. Otherwise, I would have written.
No. It's fine.
No, that's the other thing too. Like just skimming through that paint line, like those are really good prices on paint because some of these companies are, Games Workshop are insane with their prices.
Why? What does
Yeah.
Games Workshop charge? I didn't even look.
Oh my god, good question because I haven't bought it in a long
4-ounce
time.
4-ounce pot is like, I
And
don't
their
know,
pots
six,
suck.
$7 or something. And I hate pots.
Oh,
Oh,
the pots
really?
are awful.
But
Wow.
they're
They're awful.
what are they? 12 milliliters?
I'm not sure. They
Uh,
used to be 4-ounce, I think, and then they
I don't
Maybe
think
not
I have
4
one
ounce.
up here. I was doing some painting up here, but I don't.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing about these paints. They're 20 mil. So there's a lot of paint too.
That's a lot of paint. It's
Yeah.
like Army painter. I got an Army painter right here. This one is. No, it's not going to tell me apparently. Cat. I don't think so.
yeah. So their paint
Yeah.
is $7.80 for 18 milliliter.
Oh wow.
So those ones that you guys have, Dave, are 20 mil. You said.
20 mil. Yeah.
And
Wow.
then
So this is an Army painter, and this is their standard, and
that's
it's 13.
16, right? Oh, 13. Okay.
13. Yep.
13. And those are like $6 now or something to buy them,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yeah, I
You
get
have
it.
to do a lot of painting to go through that much paint, but
Yeah.
Yeah, they last a pretty good long time. This
Those
is
do big
from
pieces.
they did Army Painter has the John Blanche sets, who's the guy that was basically the creator of the whole
Yeah.
Grimdark for Warhammer and stuff like that. And those are actually really good kits. That's what this is from.
Okay. I think ours, the standard is what for a single day, $5 for the 20 mil.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, they were $5.
Yeah.
That's a great price.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. So
For $10, you can get one of the single $5 miniatures we have and a paint to go with it.
yeah.
I know.
A bargain.
Yeah, well, and we try to do that. We like to keep things $5, $10. We try to stay away from the $6.99. It's like what?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the other thing too with like your miniatures too are very well priced for metal miniatures because metal miniatures are expensive.
Yeah,
Typically, like super expensive to buy.
we had like literally half a dozen people come up to us and go, "How are you charging $5 for a metal miniature?" And we're like,
Yeah.
you know,
I think our dry brush line is 40 mil pots. I trying to
Is it?
remember. I think, yeah, I think so.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And that's, I mean, Jesus, for dry brushing, if it's 40, I mean, geez, that'll last forever.
Yeah, of course you're wasting your paint by
Well,
pulling
you're
it all
wasting it,
off.
but I mean, you're not. Yeah, but you're not dipping it in, and yeah, those are 40
No.
milliliter. But
Yeah,
you're
you
not
shouldn't
dipping
be
it in
dragging
and
out
pulling a
much
bunch
anyway.
out. You should just be pulling a little bit out, and then 75% of that, yeah, is going on the napkin. But still, you know, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
really good. Having a 20 mil bottle is awesome, just for regular paint.
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
definitely
awesome.
want to try some of those. I had not seen that line
Good
before,
stuff.
so
Yeah.
We'll have to get some. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. Stan, before you order some, let's unless you're ordering some like today. I mean,
no,
we'll figure something out. Maybe we can,
Yeah.
you know, where I can grab some from them and we can do a meetup or whatever. But yeah,
sounds
yeah,
good.
we'll figure it out. So yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to add? I know George, you always got something to say. So do you want to add? No, is there anything else history wise, or Hargrave history, Arduin history, Emperor's Choice history that you think that the world should know?
I think we pretty much got everything. That's why I wanted to hit the couple last items there, Roger, and the bibliography, which is Arduin's. I mean, I guess the biggest thing I want to say, and we kind of hit it all over the place, is how much Arduin, being there at the beginning, what it gave to the industry. So yeah, thanks, Edgelord. Yeah, say something now. Now you're telling me to talk. I'm not talking enough. So, but what I want to say is there's a lot that came from Arduin, and it's still influenced. Even like the Arduin dungeons. There's people and companies out there. The Arduin style of dungeon with all the secret doors, which is really, it becomes a secret something. It's not necessarily a door. All the odd shaped rooms. Dave Hargrave did that on purpose. Some of the design it wasn't a standard 20 by 20 room or something like that. What it did is it doesn't allow you as a spellcaster or for effects to plan it because you have such an odd shaped room. If you think about it, now it's going to confuse you, especially if it's dark. Now you're not sure. And all the traps, he did that so that the thief was a viable part of the party and he had something to do. Each character had something to do in his adventures, his dungeons, and he made them on purpose like that. And of course, he had a lot of his influence from Vietnam because he has Vietnam traps. You can see them 100%. He has tunnels within the dungeon. And why so many secret doors too? Well, that's how the creatures that live in the dungeon, they know. So that's how they avoid the traps because they go into certain doors and get around. So I just want to say,
like the old timey houses with the servants' quarters and stuff, and they had like the back passageways and everything, and where they can come out and disappear, and all that stuff.
Exactly. So there was a lot. So I just want to say how much of that has influenced, and like I said, even people nowadays are using that, which was all Hargravian style of dungeon making. So, but
Hargravian, there you go.
Hargravian.
Yeah.
So, but no, we appreciate it, guys. This was excellent.
No, this was a great time. I mean, like I said, I definitely wanted to hear about the history and all of that stuff, and I know you guys have talked about it on and off, on some different streams and all of that. But I think it's important that people know, not just, hey, here's this game, right? But like know some of the story behind it, and I think it helps with, when you're reading the rules or you're looking at it, and you can say, okay, this is why this is what it is, and and where it came from, and what they contributed to what Hargrave contributed to the rest of the hobby. I think it's important. So
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, all that stuff, and and everybody says that, it's Gary and Dave that, are like the forefathers or whatever of this hobby. And I think that there's a lot that came, before and during, that kind of helped develop what it is today, and
Yeah.
so, I think all those things collectively kind of make everything what it is now, whether for good or for bad. That's all these different contributions, kind of help. So
Yeah, absolutely. And as a final stamp on that, Roger, TSR in 74. Then you had Tunnels and Trolls, Kane sent Andre,
yeah,
I believe,
Andre, yeah.
75. And then Dave Hargrave, 77. I'm pretty positive those are the three first publishers in the gaming, official publishers in the gaming industry. So, again, he was one of the primal giants along with those. And again,
Yeah.
he unfortunately doesn't get the respect or the kudos we believe he should get.
Yeah, it's interesting, but hopefully, we'll keep talking about it, and we'll
Yep.
keep them in our memory, and keep pushing and talking about it, and we talk about it, more people will talk about it, so
Exactly.
so yeah, good times. So
Good.
yeah, you guys got anything else? Stan, Jason, any burning questions?
No, it's been a great night.
Yeah.
Jason wants to know when Dave is going to run this 9-hour World War II game. We'll
I'm down for
talk
that.
about that.
Jason
At the
can play
30-foot table.
anytime.
Excellent.
We'll talk about that. Thank you guys so much for coming, and the box set for the giveaway and the other stuff for giving away and all that stuff. It's just
thank you.
absolutely fantastic.
It's good to see you guys again.
And hopefully, obviously, we'll definitely see you guys at CNY. Maybe we'll see you guys at CNY Game Day. I wish I can give you more space at CNY, but we got to make room for the VTM LARPers now. So I don't know.
Well, we could be a hybrid. George will get them tights on.
Oh God!
So,
here we go.
but
Here we
thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. And thanks everybody out there. Thank you for coming and watching and listening to us talk about Arduin history. And we'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Thanks,
take care,
everyone.
everybody.
Have a good night.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.